Hey guys, we're going live here. Got Mr. Boone. And okay, here we go. If I can figure this out. There we go. Hello everyone. We are ready for the countdown. And we missed the first one. We're at 99991. So I knew we wouldn't hit exactly 99999. But anyway, so the live countdown has begun, and I didn't shave. Oh man. So let's take a look here. Let's see if it's updated. Here's Mr. Boone. Boone has not had dinner yet, so be aware. But he's a pretty cool mink, so I think he will be okay. But this is the time of night that he's expecting me to give him dinner and go do a little hunting training. So we'll see how hyper he ends up being. Come back here, Boone. Where are you going? You want to say hi, YouTube? Okay, we got a cute little. Whoa, sorry, guys.
Hi, YouTube.
Cute little girl. I want to say hi, YouTube. Ellie, vente por acá. Vente, mi amor. Hurry. Say hi, YouTube.
Hi. I'm watching a video. I'm talking to people.
Oh, you're talking to people and watching videos on your phone?
Hello, baby.
Oh, you got a baby?
Yeah. Hello.
It's a cute little baby.
Hi. Okay. Now I need to come out and.
And here's Maggie. Say hi. All righty. Thank you guys for all your support. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. I hope this is going to be fun and exciting for you guys. Mr. Boone, he likes to go down. Okay, so this is where I edit every day. And he's used to being with me when I edit. So he's going to crawl back down here and sit behind me for most of the time because that's just where he's used to sitting. So it's going to be hard to show him very well. Yeah.
Hello.
Let's see if we can show Boone a little better. Yes, actually, that would be great if you could run the camera. Then I got both hands.
Yeah.
I want to see.
Probably nice. I won't know where I'm pointing.
No, I can edge it. Oh, Olive wants to take control there.
Yeah.
Say hi, Olive. You want to come? You want to come? Oh, come by over by Daddy.
But he might bite me.
Yeah, you're right. He might bite you, so you better be careful. But come stand by Daddy.
Hi.
So yeah, super excited, you guys. Super excited. Let's keep politics out of this. I'm seeing politics comments already. No politic comments, please. We are here to celebrate these little guys, these wonderful mink that have made my life wonderful. We're going to tell a little bit about that story tonight. Let's do an update real quick. Oh, thank you guys for the
super chat.
The super chat people jumping on and giving us some very nice donations. Thank you guys. Appreciate that. That was very thoughtful of you guys. So let's take a look real quick on the update. And by the way, the chat goes really fast, so I'm not going to be able to point you guys out very well. Let me see if there's a way of doing this also on my video, on my computer, so I don't have to just look at the. Let's see. Sorry, guys, just bear with us for a second here. I'm going to check and see if there's a way for me to see the live feed easier on my computer. Let's see. I'm pretty sure there's a way to do that.
Probably log out, but then you won't see how many people,
subscribers
you have.
Videos. Let's go to studio. Watch yourself, Olive. Let's see. Our subscribers have stayed strong, so that's good. Okay. Watch, it's going to go negative. It went negative a little while ago, so watch, it'll probably do that at some point. I shouldn't jinx myself, and I shouldn't mention that because it'll give someone an idea, and they're like, oh, I'm going to unsubscribe.
Then we'll be here all night.
Please don't unsubscribe, guys. No, we won't be here all night because if that starts happening, I'll just cut it short when I'm done telling stories. So if you guys play games, I'm just going to end it. So,
yeah, the girls are staying up, so we can't wait forever.
Okay, so let's see. Let's see if there's a way to jump on this live. Let's see. We've got a live. Okay, perfect. Let's click on it. I know. That's why you don't go too close, huh, sweet girl? live stream. Let's see. More options.
It's okay. I'm looking at it. I can let you know what's going on if you need to.
And I just wanted to.
I got this. A little got
Well, what Joe is doing, I guess I could talk to you guys.
Details.
So, thank you so much, guys, for
View
all
on
the
YouTube.
support
There we go.
and the nice comments we get a lot. It makes us feel really good.
Let's see. Where's the live feed?
Just took a bit. No, I'm
Yeah.
being.
You can show them me looking on this if you want.
Yeah. Well, here's Joe.
That's okay. It's not coming up the way I was hoping. So, oh, here we go. It's right over here. Got it. There we go. Now I can see the feed. So let's see. Who's the person who gave? I just want to be able to say thank you to the guys sending us money because it's kind of rude. It's just like, oh, thanks. Okay. So, Saloso, I think, sent us $10. Thank you so much. Very thoughtful. And Michael doesn't exist. Sent us $50. That's a pretty cool name. Love it. Okay, so let's get going on this chat here, guys. So, what are you doing, monkey? Okay. So, oh, you see yourself. That's why you're shaking your head. All righty, guys. So Mr. Boone's here. He's going to join us for live chat. Let's get started. So obviously, won't be doing showing you guys a live tour, but we could do that tomorrow. We'll do a tour and show you guys Mink Land and our updates. We've got some cool updates and things we're working on. And my bunny says hello. However, he would probably not like your pets. Michael, Mink doesn't exist. Sent another $5. Yes. That would not be a good pet mingling. The mink like bunnies, and not the same way you like bunnies. So let's tell some fun stories. Olive, sweetheart, can you move back over here? Come over here a little bit.
But I can't see.
You can see. Look right here. You stand right here. Come stand right here, sweet girl.
But I just want to.
Olive, mira por acá. Por acá. Look. You can see yourself so much better right there. Look. There's my cute little girl. And look, Eleanor.
Oh, people want to see Shirley. Where is she? Is she outside?
She's outside. Eleanor, come here. Look, stand right here, cute girl. Stand right here. Mira.
What's she like over here?
Mírate. Ahí está, mi amor. Can you see yourself? Oh, it's so cute, my little chiquitas. Okay, so, and then Boone is hiding. He likes to, that's how he sits. So when I'm editing videos, he sits behind me. It's kind of funny. Okay, so let's start telling some fun stories, you guys. So, I promised you guys some stories. The story I thought of, announcements. Let's start with announcements. So I don't forget, I couldn't forget. We have an exciting announcement to make that we haven't told you guys. Cuidado, mi amor, mira. An exciting announcement tonight is that we are two cute little girls. We're going to have another one. We don't know yet if it's a girl. I think it's a girl. We'll actually be finding out next week, hopefully.
I want a girl wants to make me happy.
A girl would make you happy? Another little sister?
Yeah.
A girl would make me happy too. So I think it's going to be a girl. If it's whatever it is, I'm going to be happy, to be honest. So I'm not going to be disappointed if it's a boy at all. But I think it's a little girl. So we will be letting you guys know as soon as we know the gender. But that's our exciting announcement. Number one is that we are getting, we're having a baby. Well, Maggie's expecting. So that's exciting announcement number one. Are you excited, Olive?
Yeah.
Why are you excited?
Because I like to.
Do you like babies?
Do you like babies?
Yeah.
You like having cute little sisters? You like babies too?
I want this kid.
Oh, it's so fun. So we're excited to have a new little one in our family.
He can sleep in my bed and make me snuggle.
Oh, you want the baby to sneak in your bed?
Yes, I like to.
You like to?
And I hug her and snuggle her and give her lots of besos.
Lots of besos for the new baby. That will be so fun.
Yeah.
So that's our exciting news. Other exciting news is we will be getting a little puppy. It hasn't been born yet. We have 3 prospective litters that we're considering. So we don't know exactly what we're getting yet. From what litter, we know what kind of dog it is. What we're going to be doing is we've got 3 litters to consider, and obviously not all of them will necessarily be born. So one is due this week. Another will be due in about a month from now. And then the other one hasn't even been bred yet. So I'll have to decide between those 3 breedings which one is most likely to fit. Also, they need to have a female because that's the only option I would consider is a female. So this little dog, you're probably wondering, what is it? I'm wondering if I should not keep Boone here the whole time.
The girls need to go to bed too.
Or the girls need to go to bed. I don't want someone to get bit.
Do you want to hold this while
yes.
we go put the girls in bed?
Let's have a good night to the cute little girls. Okay, say good night.
Good night.
Say good night, YouTube.
Good night. Good night. YouTube. And bye. Bye.
Oh, good job. Okay, beso for daddy. Hug and beso.
No, I'm giving beso to them.
Okay, beso to them. Okay, and beso to me.
Too many.
Oh, beso to them. Okay. Good job. Okay, beso for daddy. Good night.
Come on, girls.
Beso, beso. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, good night.
Okay, come on.
Beso. Beso, hurry. I love you. Good night. Okay. We kept them up for this because we knew it was coming quick. So let's talk about the new puppy that we're we're excited for. So, whoa, sorry about that. So what we're looking for is, I have a job that I don't just get dogs for fun. You guys probably wonder, oh man, you're collecting a bunch of dogs here. No, not at all. When I get a new dog, it's specifically because there's a job that I need to, or a role, I guess you could say. Let me try this really quick. There we go. That's a little more natural for where I'm looking. There's a role that I'm looking for this dog to fill, and it's not being fulfilled very well or not at all by my current dogs. So that's how I decided to get another dog. It's not just like, oh, I like dogs, let's collect them. So my dogs, I love them. They're my pets. They're part of my family, but they're also basically like employees for my business, right? So they have a job. I have a position that opens in my business. And when that position opens, I need to find a new employee to fill it. Now, the difference between a business, a typical business, and what I do is my employees live with me, and I care for them, and I love them, and they're part of my family. So that's another important aspect to consider. Whatever I get, it needs to be a dog that I can have with my family. So some dogs, they might fill a role, and they might be a good option to consider for that role, but they wouldn't be a good option for my family for whatever reason. So I need to, take that in consideration as well. They're going to be part of my family. Whatever the animal is, whatever its job is, it also needs to be part of our family. So I take all of that in consideration. As you guys probably have noticed, or maybe not, I take months in deciding, if not years, in deciding when I'm going to get a new animal. I do a lot of homework. I do a lot of research into what type I want. When I decide, hey, I need a dog to fill this role, I decided that clear last winter. So I saw, when working my dogs together, doing my pest control. Yeah, guys, please no political stuff. I have my political opinions. You guys have yours. And I'm not saying that whoever said something I disagree with. I'm just saying someone here disagrees with you, whether you like whoever. Let's just keep that to ourselves, please. Anyway, and there's a lot of people here who aren't even from America. So they're like, who? So keep your political opinions to yourselves, guys. So when I'm making that consideration, what do I want? I noticed a gap in my team that needed to be filled clear last, it would have been, I guess, probably about last October. when the canals drain. So the canals drain October 15th, and that's when we start our major pest control for muskrats, beavers, and raccoons. And those are big jobs that I have with big companies, and so I have obligation to them to fulfill those jobs to the fullest of my ability. And when I realized I'm lacking, I realized, you know what, I need another member of the team. So I started thinking, what what kind of dog would fit this specific role? So the role is, I've got small dogs like Gremlin and Leia, who they go down beaver holes, right? And they flush beavers so that we can harvest them and remove them from the problem, where the places where they're causing problems, right? In addition to doing the ratting, which is what you guys see here on YouTube the most, Vimeo gets to the other videos like the raccoons and the beavers, which YouTube wouldn't, they wouldn't let us show. If we started showing that on YouTube, my channel would get shut down pretty fast. One thing, you guys might wonder, well, hey, I see other YouTubers who show, maybe some really graphic stuff, or the same thing that I say I can't show, they're showing. You have to realize YouTube absolutely does not. Oh, by the way, I should probably see where I'm at for subscriptions. YouTube absolutely does not make rules that apply to everyone. They are very inconsistent. Okay, we're 2 away. We're at 99998. So we're right on getting close to 1 million. So they might be really hard on me about one thing and really soft on someone else about another. For example, if you guys know Mousetrap Mondays, Sean Woods, he has it way worse than I can ever even imagine. He just shows a dead mouse and like he immediately gets flagged. The video gets taken down. He gets a strike on his channel, like bam, 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 for like really minor stuff. I mean, you see my channel. I not only show like piles of dead rats, I show them being killed, and no concern from YouTube at all, right? So why does Sean Woods get the short end of that stick? I don't know. But on my end, if I show certain things, YouTube comes down on me really hard, whereas another guy might be able to show his dogs, hunting raccoons, or someone might be able to show some beaver hunting, things like that, and nobody cares. For whatever reason, YouTube comes down on me really hard if I show anything in that regard. So I'm really careful about when and how I show anything to do with raccoons or beavers or some other animals like rabbits. You guys have never seen a rabbit video. It's not because I don't hunt rabbits. It's just because I can't show it on YouTube. So anyway, with that being stated, there are a lot of hunting over on my Vimeo channel that I do that you guys unfortunately don't get to see on YouTube. So one of the important jobs, sorry if I get long-winded, I talk a lot, guys. You don't know how much I edit when I have my videos. You guys, I'm like, blah, 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 blah. Okay, Joe, you said that 3 times. Edit, edit, edit. So anyway, so I do apologize if I get long-winded. So with this new dog, one of the roles I need is a dog that just can be a real hard hitter. A little bigger than my little dogs like Gremlin and Leia. And it doesn't have to be a little bigger, but it needs to be able to just have a lot of punch, just hard hitter. So that it can get in and get, when we're doing raccoon pest removal, it can go in, get the job done quickly, cleanly, in a way that Leia and Gremlin are unable to do. Boss and Shernee, well, especially Boss, specifically Boss, he's got a lot of punch, but he weighs 60 pounds. Boss is very limited on the size of holes that he can crawl into at 60 pounds, right? Leia and Gremlin, Leia is 20 pounds, Gremlin is 13 pounds. Sure, they can squeeze into some teeny tight spots, but when they come up against a 20-pound raccoon, they don't have the punch necessary to get it done quick and clean, which is the goal. We don't want the raccoon to suffer, and we don't want my dog to take on damage. So we need something that can get in there, end it quickly, and do so with taking on minimal amount of damage itself, so it can continue working. And I care about my animals. I don't want them getting harmed. So there are a lot of different breeds that we could consider for this kind of job. Something small enough to fit down holes, yet it doesn't need to be tiny necessarily like Gremlin and Leia, but it needs to be much smaller than Boss, at least half Boss's size. So we're talking right around 35 pounds max. Like really, I would prefer like 32 pounds max, but preferably, kind of mid-20s or min. Of course, the ability of the dog's more important than the size, but it's a lot easier for a 32-pound dog to have that punch than it is for a 22-pound dog to have the same punch. Like you have to have an amazing 22-pound dog to compete with an average 32-pound dog, if that makes sense. So this little puppy, I'm really excited. We've got a couple different litters that we're looking at. So it's kind of hard to explain what it is because a lot of people have a lot of misconceptions or misunderstandings about this breed. So if I just call it what everyone typically calls it, they will envision something totally different than what I'm actually getting. They're like, oh, they picture something else. So if you guys, I will be doing a full video explaining exactly what this dog is, how it's bred, and things like that. But to basically just put it in kind of layman's terms, the people who breed these dogs, they just simply call them bulldogs, right? The people who are really involved with these dogs, they just call them bulldogs. The general public typically calls them pit bulls, but it's not the pit bull that you're thinking of, big stocky, big head, awkward dogs. Those are what most people picture.
1 million.
I hit 1 million. Oh, Maggie just said I hit 1 million. Let's refresh my screen here. And so most people, when they think of pit bull, they think of what's actually called an American bully, which can sometimes be, oh, yep, we are well over 1 million subscribers, 1,044,000. I'm not sure what I'm showing. Oh, I probably better be careful how I show that. But yeah, 1,044,000. So yay, our countdown. Sorry guys, I was talking too much. We missed the countdown. But 1 million, we've hit 1 million subscribers. Woohoo! Here, Boone, come say hi. Come say, Boone. Say, woohoo! Yay! He's like, put me back. I want to go back down and hide. So yeah, congratulations to you guys for helping me get to this point. I wanted to tell the story about that. Let me finish on that dog. So a lot of people call them pit bulls, but it's very different from what the general public views as a pit bull. Most people see a bully is stocky, mixed bred dog. They're sometimes bred or selected for human aggression. And they, just depending on the dogs, they can be kind of sketchy with humans. These dogs are bred specifically for animals and not biting humans. So they should not in any way be human or man aggressive in any way, shape, or form. They should not. Also, they're a lot smaller than what people picture when they say pit bull. These individuals are actually going to be very small for their breed. So they're not just going to be smaller than what people already envisioned, but smaller for the average for that breed. So looking at, it's basically like a Staffordshire Terrier, what people think of. So if you actually picture a Staffordshire Bull Terrier, you're going to get closer to what I'm getting than what if I say pit bull. But unlike most Staffies, these guys have a lot more athletic ability. Staffordshire Terriers have been bred for, and now I know there's probably going to be some working Staffy guys that don't like me saying this, but a lot of them, all of them pretty much have descended from show dogs. Some people have taken them back to working stock where they've bred them for hunting and things like that, but they originally were show dogs. Pit bulls turned into show dogs, and then people tried to bring them back to, working hunting abilities again. I know I'm probably offended someone by saying that, and it's not my intention. We don't need to get in an argument on what Staffies are and aren't. But if you envision a Staffy, it'll be Staffy size, but probably a lot more leggy, athletic build than most Staffies. Not as stocky. Even a light build, athletic Staffy probably won't be comparable to my dog. Now, watch it. I just said that, and I'm going to end up with a stocky one, right? Because there's a lot of variation in this breed. They aren't just a uniform, all the same shape and size. They are bred for a purpose, and that specific purpose only, not for looks, not for anything other than their ability to fulfill at a high level. So anyway, I will have a whole video about that dog. I just wanted to give this as an announcement, so we had something exciting to tell you guys. Look forward to that video. Once again, I have absolutely been diving into this breed, these breedings, and the breeder, and the specific lines that I'm getting them for months and months and months and months. This isn't something I just, came up with on the top of my head. Hey, Maggie, do you have a way of going in and blocking these people throwing in political stuff?
I only see like Biden and
Yeah.
Trump
If
stuff?
they're saying Biden, Trump, BLM, anything that's slightly political, just block it.
Idea how.
Because whether I agree with you or don't agree with you, I don't really want that opinion shared here, because we're not a political channel and we don't want to become a political channel.
Just ignore it.
Well, it's like constant.
Just say please stop.
Yeah, I have a couple times.
Anyway,
Just get on there and see if you can do it, babe. I'm pretty sure. Anyway, so I will go into characteristics, exactly what I'm looking for. I am very extremely specific with what I'm getting. I'm not just randomly picking up a dog. One thing I know I get a lot of questions for is why I don't, or recommendations, I should say, rather than questions. Hey, you should rescue, what's the term that they like to throw around? Adopt, don't shop. Here's the thing. If you think of it like a business, I'm going in to find an employee. I'm going to not just pick the first person who walks up to me. I'm going to interview them. I'm going to look at their credentials. I'm going to look at their past experience. I'm going to do a background check. I'm going to do a lot of work to find the right individual. Doing that at a shelter is not possible. I don't know any of his background. I don't know any of his credentials. I don't know anything about his mom, his dad, his grandma, his grandpa, the person who had before him. I don't have anything. So that's why I don't adopt dogs from the shelter. I'm not trying to say that other people shouldn't. I'm just saying I have a very specific role for that dog to fill, and just trying to roll the die and get lucky. Even in a well-bred litter, if I don't know the background, the parents and the grandparents and the siblings and things like that, it's just I'm setting myself up for failure. So think of it like an employer. I'm hiring people. I'm not just going to take the first guy who walks through the door who looks like he might work. I'm going to take someone who's got a great resume. They have great past experience with previous employers, things like that. Well, same kind of idea with a dog. So anyway, not going to go into any more detail on that dog. So I will in a future video when we get closer to that time. So let's talk about what got us to this beautiful day of having 1 million subscribers. That is the story I wanted to tell you guys. So you guys might be wondering, how did we get to this point? Why did we get to this point? Was this like a goal of mine? Absolutely was not a goal. So I started with Mink 17 years ago. I think it was. Let's pull Boone out here. Come here, Boone. Maggie's holding the phone again. So let's see, would it be about a little over 17 years ago? We started I started with Mink. So I've told that story before on my channel. I'm going to go through it briefly, but I'm going to focus on different points that I didn't really go over before. So, which is from the YouTube aspect. How did the YouTube channel start, rather than, specifically how did Minkery start? So the Mink started. Basically, it was a challenge. People said, hey, it's impossible. You can't train Mink. You can't tame Mink. This one's here kissing my arm. This is impossible, what they said. Look, you cannot get a Mink like this that you can hold barehanded and who loves you. That's impossible. That's what I was told. And so I said, hey, you know what? I've trained a lot of animals in my life. I was 18 years old at the time, 17 at the time, sorry. I said, you know what? I've trained a lot of animals in my life. I think I could do it. And so I tried. And I succeeded. So once I got past the, well, you can tame them phase, I said, well, what can you do with them once you tame them? Because I grew up from a working animal background, so very different from probably most of you who are accustomed to animals being just pets. For me, they were a livelihood. They were how we made a living. My grandfather was a horse trainer, and I grew up with him. My family are not. They're city people. They're not into animals at all. My mom, dad, brothers, they're just not animal people. Well, my mom, I guess, was raised by my grandfather. So I guess she had to be, animal background. But I moved out of the house when I was a young teenager and lived with my grandfather. And he taught me, his way of life, which is animals are a livelihood. They are what pays the bills. They are what make the world go round. They're not just a novelty to look at or play with. And he trained horses and cattle dogs. And so I learned from him to think of animals in a different light. From there, also got into falconry, and falconry made me look at things a little bit differently too. I started to look at things in the light of, hey, you can take a wild predator and you can do something with them. In this case, hunting, that most people don't really think of. So I got thinking, hey, you know what? I've tamed this untamable creature. Let's see if I could do something with it, right? And the first thing that came to mind is hunting, right? That's what mink are made for, is hunting. They are hunting machines. And so I got thinking, and this little hunting machine says, I'm ready to go, guys. So I might go put him out on the line. So
can you feed him while you talk? That could also help.
That would be messy, and I got to prepare it. And then I got to wait while I'm preparing it. So I'm going to go put him out on the line real quick.
Do you want me to come with you?
Yeah, just talk with him. I'll be right back.
Oh, talk to him. Oops. Sorry, I pressed a button here. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, this is awkward because I really shy about being on camera. But anyway, so I'm sorry I'm this way. I try to be more out there and and everything. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm excited for the baby too. So here it is.
I'm back.
He's the person who you wanted to see anyway.
So I'll sit down here with Shirney now, since okay, don't lick me too much. Since Boone got put away. We'll just keep Shirney in, because if I have all the dogs here, it's gonna be crazy. Okay, so what was I saying? Okay, so I tried to think, what could I do with a mink that would be useful, right? Rather than just keep it as a pet. What could I do with it, and what would it be naturally good at? And the first thought was, of course, hunting and fishing. So I experimented with that. And since I was supposedly the first guy, obviously somebody somewhere probably did it before too, right? So I doubt I'm really the first guy. But as far as I knew, I was the first guy hunting and fishing with a mink. Sorry, guys. I'll rotate you there. That's a little easier for me. So I decided, since I was apparently pioneering something, to my knowledge, I was pioneering something, that I needed to document what I was doing. And so I started writing notes, and I had a little notepad, and I wrote, different things I'd tried and how, yes, I did coin the term minkery, by the way. Stop shaking. Sorry, I'll try not to shake. So I made up the word minkery to describe, and it was actually, I should have called it minkery, right? The N comes from falcon in the word falconry. There's no reason for the N to be there. It should be minkery, but it's too late now, right? Minkery it is. So I, in my little exploration, in my experimentation, I was taking notes and trying to notify or keep notes on what I was doing and what I was learning and things like that. And it was kind of tedious. And I realized, hey, I probably ought to use this weird platform thing I found on the internet called YouTube. And okay, we don't need a ton of kisses. Thank you. That's enough. Shirney, that's enough. Thank you. So we're going to use YouTube to document my experiences. And so what I did was I started making little videos, and they were really, really crappy. Just little handheld digital phones that my grandpa had. I don't think it was my phone. And I was just videoing myself and my mink. And little by little, I kind of progressed. And eventually, as we started hunting, I realized I needed, let's see if we can get a good shot of Shirney.
Look at her. She's loving it.
So I realized, I need to have someone else start filming, because hunting and filming, I'm a bad enough cameraman as it is when we're just walking around the backyard doing basic training. My gosh, if we start hunting, things go to crap. And I just didn't film was really what happened. I put the camera down and hunt. So I had to start having people film me as I hunted. And so as we did that, my channel grew little by little. I had no goal of like, making a business or like having a lot of people following me. There was no like ambition to become famous or anything like that. Not even a little bit. It was just, I wanted to share what I was learning about mink, and I wanted to have a way of documenting it so that I could look back at it as well as I could share with others. So people that I was trying to explain what I was doing, I wanted to be able to show them, hey, this is what I did. Friends from across the country and stuff like that. So little by little, it grew, and my videos became more and more consistent. So what I was doing professionally at that time in my life was I was going to school, and I was studying to become a wildlife biologist. I wanted to become a wildlife biology teacher was my goal. And I love to teach, as you guys have probably figured out. I love to teach. I wanted to become a wildlife biology teacher, like a college professor. That was my goal. And the main goal with that wasn't just teaching. It was I wanted to be able to write books about animals, and I wanted to do studies about animals. And I wanted to be able to study and learn about different animals, and mostly mink. That was my obsession at the time, but other animals too. And so I was working towards that in college, and I realized a few things. So first off, I had a long road to just get to before I could ever start doing my own studies. I realized that even when doing my own studies, I had to do it in my off time, in the off season as a college professor. I had to go teach classes during a certain time of year, and then I could maybe in the off season go do a study. But any study I did, I had to kind of like beg for permission to do. I had to go beg for funding, and I had to go beg for this and that. And it really started looking less and less appealing to me the more I researched that position, becoming a university professor, with the goal of being able to do studies and learn about animals and write books about animals. And I realized maybe this isn't the way to go. So in that kind of journey, I ran into the financial services industry. I learned about the financial services industry, basically becoming a financial planner. And I learned that, hey, you know what? This is an industry where you can potentially build a book of business, and event and retire kind of early, have a stream of income that isn't requiring a constant labor. So basically, you front load a whole bunch of time investing into building a book of business, essentially, so that later you could back off and have a lot of free time and the money to basically do what you want. And so I didn't really want the money as much as I wanted the free time. The free time was my goal. The money would be cool, but what I really needed was free time to be able to go and study these animals and learn about animals and train animals and do the things I love with animals. So that was my goal. And I was working towards that, and I was building a book of business, and I was working in a financial services company, working to become a financial planner. And I had things going, and I was growing, but it was really slow. And part of the problem is, I mean, you look at my baby face, you probably think I'm like 22, right? I'm 35, almost 36 years old, and I still look like early 20s, right? Well, picture me back in my early 20s. I mean, I looked like a teenager, and I was out there, a young guy. I was doing this pretty young. I was like 22 years old. Hey, let me teach you about finance. And I knew a lot, but it didn't matter what I knew because people saw me as a little, flipping like 18. They're like, are you even 18 yet? I'm like, yeah, I'm 22. Well, that's not much different. Like, I don't know if I trust you with my finances. I don't know if I trust the advice you're giving me. I had a really hard time because not only was I young, but I looked even younger. And so I worked at it, and I worked at it, and I worked at it, and I worked at it. And I took a while for me, in my goals anyway, to get married and start a family. I know for a lot of people it's normal, but for me, I wanted to have a family early on in my early 20s or mid 20s, but it just wasn't happening. I couldn't find the right girl, and I was pretty picky. I wanted just the right girl because I knew I'm a very different guy. Like, I have wild, crazy animals that eat meat and, just things that normal people struggle with, right? So I took a while getting married. Finally got married at 29, right? Yeah, 29. And we had our first little girl 2 years later. And my wonderful, wonderful wife helped me for those first 2 years before we had our little one. She helped me to focus even more on my business and work towards building my financial services company and all this. And she was a great, great help to me. But when Olive came along, some interesting thing happened. So my business finally started to boom, and it looked like I was going to be successful at last. And that's what it looked like. I had a whole list of clients lined up that were going to do great, and they were big, big clients that were going to make a very significant financial difference in my life. And I'd been really struggling. And I thought, well, you know what? This is awesome. Just in time for our new baby to come. This is going to be great. And one by one, every single one of those clients fell off the wagon and didn't do anything with me or did very, very little business with me. And it just crushed me. I was finally there, I thought, and then I wasn't. And I was like, you know what? I have been doing this for how many years was it? Anyway, a lot of years. I would have been 31 when Olive was born, right? So I was 31. I've been doing it since I was early 20s. So I mean, yeah, we've been looking at 8 years. I've been doing it for 8 years, busting my butt for 8 years, and it just like finally thought I was going to be there, and boom, it fell apart. And I just said, you know what? I need a break. I need a break. I just can't take this anymore. I've got a little baby on the way. I need to go out and get a job and get a regular 9-to-5 paycheck. And just for me, being an employee was a break. It was a vacation. So I went up to a company called Fidelity and said, hey, here are my credentials. Here are my licenses. Here's my experiences. And they said, poof, we'd love to have you. Here's a job. We'll pay you more than most guys because you've got a lot of experience behind you. Honestly, I was taking a demotion.
Starting to shake.
I was taking a demotion. So I was going from, I was running my own gig as a financial planner to basically like an assistant financial planner. And I realized that, and I wanted that. I wanted a break from having everything on my shoulders. I just wanted just a regular income so I could relax, have a steady paycheck and the insurance and all that gag. So did that and had my break. Well, during that break, sorry if you guys are like, what is he getting at? Why is he telling us all this stupid financial services crap? Well, there's a reason for that. So while I was having my break, I'm an entrepreneur at heart, and I had a year where I just worked as an employee and just relaxed. For me, that was relaxing. Just 9-to-5. It was relaxing.
You were still at the top too of the guys.
Yeah, I mean, I made sure I was at the top of my class. Like I was one of the top guys in the office. So when I say I was relaxing, I wasn't like a bad employee. I was one of their best. I was up here. But for me, I was down here. I was just relaxing because when you run your own business, you work very differently than when you're an employee. Typically, I mean, obviously there's employees who work as if it's their own business, but they're definitely the exception. And I kind of did a little in between. I worked better than my peers for the most part, but like it was lower than I was used to effort I was used to putting in. So anyway, I did that for a year, and then after a year, I started noticing, hey, you know what? My YouTube channel, because I've been doing Mink the whole time, right? My YouTube channel is actually starting to grow. It's starting to, see some real traction. I'd actually learned in that time period a little before getting the job that there was a way to make money on YouTube. I had no idea there was a way. I'd been doing it for years and had no clue. And someone pointed out, hey, dude, you're missing some money. You should, you should do this and that to monetize your channel. I'm like, oh, cool, whatever. So I did that, and I was, making a few extra bucks, and it was cool. A few extra bucks, it helped. But then I, it grew, and the few extra bucks got to be a significant extra bucks. And I was like, oh, this is cool. We could put this towards savings. We could use this to help us to retire sooner and, things like that. I just saved it all. I didn't spend a penny of it. I just saved it, put it into savings, which I did with my extra income too, from my current job. I was a saver. So anyway, I was doing that. And then all of a sudden, after a year of being at Fidelity, I realized, hey, you know what? I could be working a lot harder than I am. And I knew that the whole time, right? This was my year vacation of just being an employee. I'm like, you know what? I could bust my butt, stay at the top of the ringer on Fidelity. By the way, they tried to give me promotions, and I was like, I don't want promotions. Keep me here at this nice, cushy job. I will do good at this cushy job. Don't give me more responsibilities. So I said, you know what?
It was hard though, like the not having you home because you were doing YouTube and.
Well, I'm getting into that,
Okay,
right?
sorry.
So I took a year of just like, I'm just going to be an employee and come home and play when I'm done, right? So then I realized, hey, you know what? This YouTube thing is actually something I should consider as take more seriously, and maybe should actually work towards it becoming an income source rather than just like this cool outlet, artistic outlet, Maggie called it earlier, for me to share my interest in Mink and my experiments with Mink and training methods with Mink. So I am, Trini, thank you, sweetheart, but that's enough. That's enough. That's enough. Okay. Yeah. Good girl. So I started to actually treat it like a business, whereas before it was purely recreation, right? So I started actually start treating it like a business, and I started working. Flipping. How many hours a week do you think I was working? So I'm working, 40, 45 hours for Fidelity, and then I'd have been working at least 20, 30 hours for myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been about 30 hours.
About.
So total of about 70, 75 hours a week, just pounding it. And that included going out and making videos. I wasn't just editing videos. And I worked really, really, really hard, back to where I was before, right? When I was self-employed, being an entrepreneur, just pounding it, working on my side business a good 20 to 30 hours a week, working my regular job 40 to 45 hours a week, and just pounding it. And little by little, my YouTube channel started to really take off at that point, and just eventually it surpassed my income at Fidelity. And so I said, okay, you know what? I'm going to keep these double incomes going to be sure this isn't just going to drop off and die tomorrow. And I just kept pounding it. And my boss at my job was just like, dude, why do you show up at work every day? And why are you still doing good? Like, you have no reason to be motivated. I'm like, well, I'm not going to just like slack off. Like, you guys are paying me. I need to do my job here. You're like, yeah, like you could quit tomorrow. I'm like, yeah, well, I don't want to quit and end up self-employed again, struggling. Like I did that for 8 years, just struggling to survive. I want to make sure this thing isn't going away tomorrow. And so I continue to save. Everything I made, just save it. And I said, you know what? These Mink, not only do I love them, like, of course I love them. I loved them back when I was, struggling to survive, but they were changing my life because now all of a sudden they were helping me to make an extra income. And now, finally replacing my income so that I could do it full time. And I said, you know what? I am going to invest in them. They've changed my life. And so I, saved up all that money and we bought Mink land. And that's what we did just as I was quitting Fidelity. We kept some savings just to be safe, right? I'm financially, financial planner, right? I gotta be careful with money, and I know that. But we took those savings and we put it into Mink land, and we're still putting it into Mink land. We purchased what we felt was the closest we could find to an ideal location, we're zoned for livestock. Like, I know some people see the neighbors in the back and they're like, hey, can you guys even do that? Dude, I can have horses and cows here. We have neighbors with horses right across the street, have horses. Everyone has chickens. There's a goat farm down the road. Like, I know it looks like I'm right in the city, but zoning wise, we're zoned for livestock. So I could actually have, cattle or horses if I wanted to. So I bought a property, and it was a property that I could expand potentially. Where it was located was I could expand it by purchasing neighbor properties, but I didn't have the money to do it yet, and I didn't want to, blow everything and be broke and quit my job. But so I wanted to be safe. I want to be careful. So we've been step by step investing what this blessing has been back into the Mink. We gave them the beautiful pond that we have. Aquascape team, Ed, the pond professor, and the Aquascape team did an amazing job with that. We've built, little by little. Right now, we're building some large walk-in enclosures. We're in the process of that. We'll be showing you guys our big, beautiful enclosures that we're working on. And Can you train a monkey to hunt for you? I have actually thought about that. Believe it or not, if it breeds, I probably have thought, hey, can I train that to hunt? Silly as it is, I have sat years ago, but probably before I even got into mink, and wondered, I wonder if I can hunt squirrels with a monkey. So yeah, I've hunting with a monkey. Sorry, that was a comment that I just happened to see.
Super chat.
Super chat comment.
Yeah, people are saying that they would like to see you respond to the super chats.
I'm sorry, guys. I could barely even see this super chats. Can we? Oh, I can go back to the computer and see them.
Yeah.
Let me go back to the
That'd be
super
easy.
chats.
Nice.
So yeah, anyway, we invested it in Minkland, and I went into my boss and said, hey, what do we need to do to leave on the best foot possible? Because I definitely want this as a backup if things fall apart. And he said, dude, you've proven yourself time and time again. You've worked here for a year when you didn't even need the income, and you did a better job than the overwhelming majority of people here who need the income. So if you're willing to work that hard when you don't need the income, yeah, man, if there's any way in my power to hire you again, I will do it. Obviously, you can't promise. I don't know what Fidelity will be doing at the time if you try and come back. But if I have any say in it, I will hire you drop of a hat. So I'm like, okay, how long do you need me to work before I need to leave? Do you guys need like a few weeks notice, a few months notice? He's like, dude, you can walk out today. He's like, you're good to go. You've proven yourself. You can walk out today. I'm like, I said, Maggie, we are full-time Minkenry.
Oh, that was awesome.
Our dream has come true. My life is mink now and dogs. I train mink, I train dogs. I get to spend all day. Now, I work my butt off. Don't think that I just play. I work my butt off. Editing videos is a lot of flipping work. I work my butt off, but I work my butt off doing what I love, because what I love is teaching people about mink. I love is working with mink. What I love is being with my cute little girls every day. I wake up in the morning, they sit on my lap while I edit videos. They're running around playing. I'll stop and play a little game with them and then go back to working. I love being with my cute little wife who just loves me way more than I deserve. I love it. So I cannot complain, but you better believe I work well over 80 hours a week, because everything I do is both work and play. So I'm always playing and I'm always working. And sometimes that's it's kind of a negative at times, because you're like, man, is this work or is this play? And I have to like take a step back and look at myself. Am I being productive with my play? You know, but life is absolutely wonderful. I am so ridiculously grateful to be in this situation. I hope it continues. I pray that it continues. In the meantime, I am trying to make financial choices that'll, if this falls apart, I can continue this lifestyle through other investments and such. But at the same time, I want to reinvest in those mink, because they have changed my life. They have made my life just amazing, and I want to make their lives just as amazing. And so that is why I could have got a lot cheaper place than what we bought, but I wanted to make Minkland. I wanted to give them a paradise where they had a pond and they had a half acre to run around in, and they, just had the most amazing lives that they could possibly have outside of hunting. So hunting alone, flipping, that gives them the most amazing life ever. I mean, people don't really give that the credit that they should. I mean, hunting alone, it really fulfills them. But being able to, in the meantime, when they're not hunting, have a full fulfilled life on Minkland, I mean, that just makes it that much better. So, okay, let me get on the super chat here.
Yeah. Let's answer some questions.
Sorry, guys. Let's answer some questions. We told that story. That was a story I wanted to tell. I hope you guys liked it. I know there's a lot about stuff that didn't have to do with mink, but I don't know. I thought you guys might enjoy it. I hope nobody took it the wrong way. I hope I didn't sound prideful in saying I did a good job. I mean, you could ask my boss. He'll tell you I did a good job. Maybe he was lying to me, but maybe I wasn't doing a good job. But he told me I did a good job. I assumed I was. And he's
such a good boy.
Okay. I'm a good boy. Okay, so let me get on. How did I find that before? Videos, live. Here we go. So let me get on the super chat. So all the super chat people, hey, I really apologize for, you guys sending me money, and that's just not fair at all that I'm not responding. So let me go on here. Let's see.
I think you have to go to the video itself.
Yeah, let me go back.
Someone knows.
Okay, so I
comment in the
figured out how to do
video.
it. So
Oh,
let me
you
see.
have it. Okay.
Details, analytics, options, view on YouTube. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to jump on this and go to Super Chat and answer those questions. And let's see, what's the easiest way to do that? Top chat, live chat. Oh, here we go. I can see it. So here we go. Wow, $100 from. And I do apologize if I mispronounce your name, babe. Can you?
I'm so sorry.
Thank you, sweetheart. I love you. Censored Zeal, $100. Wow, that is amazing. Thank you so much. Congratulations, Mr. Minkman, and to the whole Carter family. Not only a great milestone for your channel, but a separate amazing milestone for your family. I'm always in awe of your ability to manage everything involved in a hunt. You are an inspiration. God bless. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Your kind words and your thoughtfulness for sharing your hard-earned money, because we work hard for our money. Everybody does. Well, most people do. And I assume you do as well. So I really appreciate that. Let's look at another one. We've got $5 here. Congrats. Well done. Excited for your future. This is Betty Boop. Little winky face. Job well done. Thank you so much, Betty Boop. Again, let's see. Mark Lopez. $4.99. Thank you, my friend.
Was that the humble gamer? Oh, you're seeing all of them. Sorry.
Yeah, that was Mark Lopez. Camaro Mato. Sorry if I say your name in a Spanish accent and you don't speak Spanish.
Actually, some people want you
I
to
jumped
speak
to. Oh,
Spanish.
people want me to speak Spanish.
Yeah.
Lo siento. See, I'm gonna mess up my Spanish. I'm not good at Spanish, guys. Yo puedo hablar un poco, pero la cosa es, yo aprendí todo en la calle. Yo no aprendí nada en la escuela, ni mi misión, si eres un miembro de el mismo iglesia de mí. Yo no serví en español, yo serví puro inglés. Pero después de la misión, una misión es un, I don't know how to explain it in Spanish, but I'll go back to English. So people wonder sometimes where I learned Spanish. I started speaking Spanish for a minute, obviously there. I didn't learn it in school. I didn't learn it. If you're a member of the LDS Church, as I am, you might think, oh, you served a Spanish-speaking mission. I actually didn't. I served an English-speaking mission in the Iowa Des Moines mission. Loved it there. I did serve my mission partly on the Omaha Native American Reservation, where I did learn bits and pieces of Omaha. I cannot say that I speak Omaha. That would be completely dishonest. I know some phrases. I know some words, but I couldn't even really I couldn't say anything helpful, really, to be honest. But I did learn a second language when I was a little boy. I lived in Denmark for 2 years, from age 8 to 10, and I learned it fluently. I could actually read better than the Danish kids. And the reason was because I was trying to learn about animals, right? All the books in the library were in Danish. So I actually pushed myself to learn Danish to the point where I was a better reader than they were. I probably wasn't as fluent at speaking, but I could understand and comprehend reading better. I wasn't as good at writing, I'm sure, because, yeah, anyway. But I learned Danish, and I kind of had an interest in learning languages after I got home from a mission. So if you guys don't know what a mission is, I'm a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Some people call us Mormons. And one thing that we have the opportunity to do if we choose to is at a young age, late teens, early 20s, 19 to 20, 18 to 20, something like that. We can choose, if we want to go and serve a mission where we basically go out and we share our faith with other people. We basically do what we can to help make their lives better. And we do that for 2 years. We have to pay to do it. So we have to save up money and or have our parents help you pay for it. Kind of like going to college, you save up money or your parents help you, or you find a way to get the funds together, and then you pay your way, because for those 2 years, you don't make any money. You don't work at a normal job. The church, of course, doesn't pay you. You donate your time to basically helping others and blessing their lives in any way that you can, whether it's through service, helping them temporarily. So like, doing service, which involves, a lot of manual labor, things like that. Or you can help them spiritually by helping to uplift them and help them to better their lives. So anyway, I did that for 2 years, which if you're LDS, if you're part of my church, you might assume, well, that's where you learn Spanish. It's not. Like I said, Iowa Des Moines Mission, puro inglés. I learned after my mission, I decided, hey, you know what? I want to learn a language because I knew little like words and phrases from a couple different languages, like Omaha, for example, but I couldn't speak it. I was like, man, I want to learn a language like I did Danish, be fluent, be able to communicate in the language. And I thought about it and I'm like, you know what? If I'm going to learn a language, I should learn one that would be useful where I currently live. Spanish. I can't think of any other language that would be remotely useful in the United States of America unless you live in a very specific place that has, maybe a lot of Bosnians or a lot of Germans or a lot of Polish. Like I lived in Chicago, there's a lot of Polish people, but they all, they for the most part know English. The most useful language I could probably learn would be Spanish. And so I decided I want to learn Spanish. And that's actually how I met my wife. I went to a church in Spanish, same faith, just a congregation that spoke Spanish, and I immersed myself in Spanish to learn it. I didn't do any classes. I did get some little tapes that I'd like listen to while I drove, but I mainly immersed myself. I learned how to Latin dance, and I went to church in Spanish and things like that, and I learned yo puedo bailar como cumbia, banda duranguense. I don't like salsa. No me gusta salsa. Salsa es para comer, no es para bailar. I absolutely love, now I can't think of what it's called. Merengue. I said merengue.
Bachata?
Bachata. There we go. I absolutely love bachata. I love it, but I don't know what it's called. No, I love bachata. Me encanta bailar bachata. But yeah, cumbia también. Me encanta cumbia. So I learned how to dance. That's just what I was saying in Spanish, is different dances and Spanish dances. I love to dance Spanish, different like cumbias and bachatas and things like that. And so I got to practice my Spanish. I'd go ask some girl. I didn't know her name. I didn't know anything. I'm like, hola, ¿cómo te llamas? Me llamo Joe. ¿De dónde eres? I'd learn all these really simple phrases. What's your name? Where are you from? ¿Cuántos hermanos tienes? Like really simple, mundane questions that you can ask a girl that you never met before. And then little by little, I even dated a girl that couldn't speak English for a while. I learned a lot of Spanish, man. That was rough. But eventually, I just happened to run into my wife at a church I was going to, like I said, trying to immerse myself in Spanish. And I'm not going to tell you that story. That's a big, long, crazy story.
Maybe make a video after.
Maybe we might make a video of that. Maggie and I were talking about making a video about that.
If people are interested
Not so much to share with you guys, honestly, is partly to document it so we don't forget it. We could share it with our kids. So, but anyway, it's an amazing love story that like really should be a book. And I'm not trying to it's intense. So anyway, where was I going with that? Super chat. Sorry. Oh, that's how I know Spanish.
A long way to
I actually don't speak Spanish with my wife. And when she speaks Spanish to me, I barely understand her. But some random stranger can come up to me and be like, blah, blah, blah. And I'll be like, yeah. And I'll respond. And I can have a basic conversation with people. But for some reason, my wife's accent struggle with. And I don't get any practice because she always speaks to me in English. Always. The only time we speak to each other in Spanish is when we don't want somebody to know what we're saying. That's the only time we speak Spanish. Is we're like, oh, I don't want so-and-so to know what I'm saying. Amor, dime lo que pasó con algo. And, or sometimes we're working on teaching the girls. So we actually speak Spanish to our little girls way more than we speak to each other, which is funny. So anyway, enough about Spanish.
Super chat.
Alguien quiere saber algo acerca de mi español, entonces yo lo explico. Okay, so sorry if my Spanish is horrible. Like I said. Okay, so super chat.
I think you can go back. I think you can go back and see
but,
all of them.
Let me see.
Because some of them have timed out.
Oh, they have it timed out. Let's see.
Yeah.
Participants, send feedback. Sorry guys, give me just 1 second while let's see. Show your support. Oh, I can support myself, guys. Book title: Mink Man Meets Mink Woman. That's a good one. Matthew Hammond had that great idea. Oh, Hammond. So, Matthew, one of the dogs that I'm considering getting comes from a Hammond's line of bulldogs. Just, you might find that interesting. Hammond's line. Some people call them the alligator dogs, alligator line. Other people call them Hammonds because of Gary Hammond. But anyway, thought you might find that interesting.
So
Hammond's line of
I
bulldog.
saw some super chats that ask about the puppies and where they're at.
Oh yeah, about our
how
puppies that
they're
we had. So the puppies are doing great. They've all gone to their own homes. Leia had puppies a few months ago. If you guys didn't catch that, they are, what are they? Close to 6 months old now. I'd have to go do the math. They're 5-6 months old, roughly. Oh, they're the same age as the mink. So yeah, they're getting close to 6 months old. They've all gone to their own homes a long time ago. I have good friends that have them, so I get to see them from time to time, and I get to see, what they're doing, and as they get old enough to actually start working, then I will go, help the ones who need help, get those puppies started on rats and raccoons and other things that they plan on hunting with them. So those puppies are doing great from what we can tell, but they're young, so we don't really know how well they're going to work. But they're showing good signs so far, and they're leggy, athletic little suckers. So they look like they're going to be probably quicker than Boss, like the way they're built. We'll see. Who knows? Let's see if we can find. So you think we can go back?
I thought I did.
Congratulations on 1 million subs, says PVTPY1E. Thank you, sir. Let's see.
Oh, this one is hard to read.
DKK. Benjamin Lund. Hey, I knew a guy by that name. Anyway, he sent me $50, and this is not in English. Let's see if it's a language I happen to know. Nope. Sure isn't. A ver el og. I wonder if this is Tagalog. I don't know what Tagalog looks like. No, it's not. It's not Spanish enough to be Tagalog. Anyway, sorry, Benjamin Lund. I'm not sure what that says. If I was supposed to be able to read that, I apologize.
Someone said it's Swedish.
Is it Swedish? Yeah. See, if it's Danish, I don't remember Danish. I'll bet you that's what it is. I'll bet you it's Danish. Hey, yeah, it's. Yeah, that could be Danish. So I have totally forgotten Danish. I can't even begin to read it. If you were to speak to me, I might know a word. But if I read even that word that I can say and understand, I don't have a clue what it says. So writing in Danish is totally gone. So I just said, I used to be able to read better than the kids my age. No. I can't read anything now. I know a few words like, jeg elsker min mor. I love my mom. Don't know why I remember that. Jeg elsker dig. I love you. Lillebror, little brother. And I'm sorry if I'm slaughtering it. Anyone who knows Danish. What's another Danish phrase I know? Pinsvin, word for hedgehog. Anyway, so Anna's aunt, Donald Duck. Like, I know stupid little random things, but I cannot read any Danish. So that's probably what it was. It's probably Danish. So I apologize, Benjamin Lund. If that was Danish, I've forgotten it. Do any of my neighbors complain about Minkland? My neighbors, for the most part, absolutely love me. And here's why. When they get a rat, guess who they call? And guess who shows up and gets rid of that rat for free? Me. When they get a raccoon in their tree, guess who they call at midnight? Me. So they love me. I do a lot of service in the neighborhood with my profession. And I say, hey, you get the neighborly rate. It's free. So unless that becomes a serious hassle for some reason, I plan on from here on out always doing free. And I'll drop everything and be like, oh, let me come. And I'll come right over and get the rat or raccoon or whatever problem they're having. And those are the main things that in my neighborhood they have problems with, are rats and raccoons. There hasn't been anything else yet, fortunately. I did help a neighbor with a skunk, I guess, but it was a neighbor's. Anyway, we don't need to go into that. It's usually raccoons and rats that cause the most problems.
Someone said, I will pay good money for you to teach a crab to hunt mice with a spear.
Teach a crab to hunt mice with a spear?
Try not to skip,
that would be really hard.
Dog G will love to see some bachata.
Bachata. Bachatea.
Yes.
Bachatero. Okay. Yeah, I did some bachata. Oh, that was on that was on
On Instagram.
Instagram. I did it.
Yes.
I think I did a couple times on Instagram.
What do you do with the raccoons?
So raccoons are too similar to mink to safely be able to feed them to mink, and the dogs do not like the meat. I like the meat. I actually think it's pretty yummy, but my wife's not a huge fan of it, and we collect more than enough raccoons for us to just like eat pure raccoon diet, which is obviously not healthy. So what we do with raccoons is so raccoons, so if you think about it, people are always concerned about me feeding rats to mink because they're like, oh, rats carry diseases. Well, rats carry diseases that we can get, right? Because we're very similar. Our bodies are very similar. And so we are susceptible to most of the disease, or a lot of the diseases that rats are susceptible to, because we're physically too similar. So eating rats, if you don't cook them well, is quite dangerous for a human, right? But a mink is very different from a human. We don't share very many diseases, mink and humans. And mink and rats also don't share very many diseases at all. Being a carnivore, for example, rats don't get like distemper, but mink do. Well, raccoons and mink are pretty similar, just like dogs and raccoons are pretty similar because they're carnivores. And so they share a lot of the same diseases and a lot of the same parasites. And so to feed raccoons to a mink would be pretty sketchy. I would probably need to cook it first. Dogs, not as sketchy because dogs have really, really tough immune systems. They're scavengers, so they could survive a lot of crap that would kill a mink, but they don't really like the meat, so I don't want to like force them to eat something they don't like. So what I do with the raccoons is I give it to a predator that is different enough that they don't have to worry about the diseases, and that is birds of prey. So I don't have any birds of prey, of course, but I have friends who breed and raise and train falcons and other birds of prey to hunt. And so I donate the or trade, depending on the individual, the raccoons to them so that they can use them to feed their birds. And then obviously if there's any way to utilize the pelts, we do so as well. I actually have that in a video and I will be posting that on YouTube. So usually you guys don't get to see the raccoon hunts. Usually they're on Vimeo. So sorry guys, that's just how it is. But I try to find videos that would be able to share with you guys and probably not get flagged. And so every now and then you will see a raccoon video, and I will be posting one shortly. And that actually shows one of the guys I'm actually giving him the raccoons for him to take home and feed to his birds of prey and feed to the hawks. So that's what we do with the raccoons. If we don't eat them ourselves, we give them to hawks, but we don't feed them to our carnivores, the mink or the dogs. Mark Lopez sent another $10. Thank you for sharing your story and its incredible milestone with us. Sorry I didn't know to send a super chat because I never sent YouTubers money, but you're an exception, buddy. Oh, thank you, Mark Lopez. That is very kind of you.
Another super chat I saw previously was.
Let me get a
okay.
Let me get a couple of these real quick, love.
Okay.
$50 from Darkonos75. One of the few channels that show the true nature of animals. Many that are seen as savage and untamable can be loved and trusted. Even the cold-blooded can be warm-hearted. With what I saw from the mink, Raptor is sure to be an ambassador of his breed. Thank you so much, Darkonos75. Very, very thoughtful. Let me do a couple more and then tell me what you're thinking. 5, I think that is, I'm not going to try and guess the dollar.
The Humble Gamer.
5 something from Humble Gamer. Did you see my first super chat? I'm sorry, I did not. The Humble Gamer. You didn't see my? Oh, he's telling me you didn't see my first super chat, but I didn't ask a question anyway. So here's one. Do you have any interesting stories from the hunts you didn't film? Oh man, I have some cool events that happen off camera. So way back in the day when I first started filming. This was when I was kicking myself for not having the camera rolling. This lady had a rat it was a really old house, downtown Salt Lake City, like pioneer built house. Man, those things are just not built the way they build houses anymore, like they do these days. They've got cracks in their foundation where like a raccoon could enter their basement. Like forget about a raccoon could slide through a crack and get in some of their basements. So this lady had one of those basements, and it's like yeah, there's nothing I can do to help her prevent the rats. I just have to come catch them when they come. And so this rat was living in her house. They would come in through into her basement and yada, yada, yada. So I stuck the mink in there, and the mink went in, and immediately the rat came out, and immediately the mink caught it, like on my shoes. It was so cool. The mink ran out, hit my leg, slowed it down for just an instant. The mink grabbed the rat, wrapped it up on my shoe, killed it right there in front of me. I was like, oh, that was the coolest thing. I wish I got that on film. Another really cool event that I wish I got on film. If you guys have seen that video with the weird chicken coop that has a tree growing through the middle, there was one time this rat come climbing up the tree, and it was corkscrewing up this tree, kind of like you see squirrels running, like around the tree rather than just going up or down. It was going kind of around the tree, corkscrewing up. So it come running, and I saw the rat, and I just looked directly at the rat. I was like, oh, wow, there goes that rat. He's getting away, and I'm just watching him. And I don't know why I didn't reach out and grab it. I was just, I don't know, I didn't think quick enough. And I was just watching it run. I'm like, well, that rat got away. And just as the rat was getting in my point of view about here, I noticed out of the corner of my eye a mink hot on his trail. And the mink climbed and out-climbed the rat and caught it like eye level right in front of my face. Caught the rat right there. Bam, grabbed it by the tail. The rat reached down. It wrapped it up. Boom, right in front of me. I was like, man, if my eyes were cameras, that would have been the coolest thing I could have caught on camera. That was so cool. So yeah, I've had other instances where a muskrat come popping out. Usually they pop out underwater, right? Or right next to the water. One popped out on land and like hit me. And I was like, ugh. I'm like, man. And I've always thought one of these days, because I'm often looking down in the holes, like straight up crawling down on my belly, looking in the hole with the flashlight to see what's going on. I know one day I'm going to be down there and a muskrat's going to go smack me right in the face. I'm like, oh, hopefully it doesn't bite with the smack, because man, their teeth are horrible. One of these days I'm going to get smacked right in the face with a muskrat, but it hasn't happened yet. So yeah, I'm sorry guys. There's cool things that just don't get on camera, or the camera's not even rolling. I'm just out by myself, you know. I do have a GoPro. I'm trying to utilize that more, but I really have a hard time filming. I just go hunt, you know. So
This one disappeared, but I still.
Oh, you saved it. Okay.
Yeah.
Good day from Brisbane, Australia. We don't have mink here. We use fox terriers for ratting. Your work with reptiles is incredible. I love it. Thank you, sir. My mom was raised in Australia. She was actually born here in Utah, in the United States, but she was raised over in Australia. So she can't quite claim being an Aussie, but she's got Aussie upbringing. So anyway, good day, mate. Hope you don't take that offensively as being funny. Okay, let's see.
Nisha is the newest one.
Nisha JD from Canada, I believe, $10. This tip is for Shirney. Give her that rare meat. Hi, Maggie.
I actually recognize her use, like her like picture and name.
I wonder what she means by rare meat. You mean the raccoon? Rare meat.
Maybe she wants you to buy her super nice meat with that,
I don't know.
because it's her tip.
Oh, I see. So give her some meat with the Well, that's all she eats is meat. My dogs don't eat dog food. Special meat. I see. I read your post real quick. Okay, yeah, I'll get her something special. So yeah, I'll
probably post it on Instagram, a little video.
All my dogs eat pure meat. Dog food is a rare exception. Like sometimes if we're on a trip, sometimes we'll feed them some like really high-end pellets, or sometimes I'll keep a bag of dog food around if I just like forgot and didn't thaw something out, and I'll be like, oh crap, I'll feed them a little dog food. But it's got to be really, really high-end stuff that's almost all meat, or else they get sick to their stomach. If I feed them like what most people feed their dogs, they get the runs, because they're like, what is this ground yellow corn crap? Like their digestive system isn't used to that. They're used to eating, chicken and beef and, all muskrat and beaver and rabbit and, all that stuff. So anyway, so yeah, I'll get her something special. Thank you.
Also, I want to say hi, because I do recognize her, and I usually like her comments a lot. I don't know, like some people.
Nisha?
Yeah. So hi, Nisha.
Maggie says hi, Nisha. Congrats on 1 million from Corbin G. Congrats on 1 million, dude. Way to get her done, bud. Lots of love from Canada. Keep on killing rats, and best of luck with Raptor. Thank you so much, Corbin. He sent $5. And let's see if I can look up some of the ones I missed. What were you going to say, love?
Oh, yeah, the one that I was going to tell you.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody asked, well, actually, I think a couple of people asked if you were a falconer or you planning on doing falconry again or something.
Sure. So I used to be a falconer, and I guess I kind of still am, but I'm just not a practicing falconer. I don't know if you want to call that not being a falconer or what you want to call it, whatever you want to call it. That's what I am. I'm a non-practicing falconer. So I would love to get into birds of prey again. Part of me would, and part of me, the legal aspect is really annoying. The government's constantly looking over your shoulders. You have to pass a bunch of tests and things like that. One of the really cool things about the tests are easy, but it's just kind of annoying. And that's one of the things is they hold that over your head. If you sneeze wrong, they're, we're going to take your licenses. We're going to jerk your life apart because you have to do everything perfect. You know, everyone else can like break laws left and right. We're not going to do anything, but you're a falconer, so we're coming after you. That's how the government treats you when you're a falconer. You get a big old target on your face that says, hey, please come and get me. If I do any infraction, you have so much leverage, you can destroy my life. Because if you're a falconer, falconry is your life. You can't really be a falconer and just have it be a hobby. It's not a hobby, it's a lifestyle. Just like with me and my mink, it's a lifestyle. And so you basically give the government the power to destroy your life. And they know it, and there's a big target on your face. And if you sneeze, they will pull the lever and your license is gone and your life's over. So that's frustrating to me, to give the government that much power over me. And if you guys want to talk politics, you can guess where my political stances are with that, but we're not going to get into that. But I do not like the government having power over me. I like having power over my own life and making my own decisions. And the government kind of takes that away a little bit when you become a falconer, and they hold it over your head. Hey, you know what? You do anything wrong, we're going to destroy your life. You can't be a falconer anymore. So that bugs me. And then I just love mink so much, and they take so much time and so much effort. Dogs are great because sure, they do take time and effort, but I could put a dog on a back burner and still have him be an amazing companion and work animal and everything. You cannot put falcons and you cannot put mink on back burners and have it work out very well. They need to be your focus, or else things just go to crap really fast. Dogs are great because you say, hey, I've got some free time in my mink world. Let's focus on Shirley and get her really good at this, this, and this. And once she's learned it, sure, she can get rusty, but she's going to maintain that training level that you left off at far longer than most wild animals like mink or birds of prey would. So anyway, I love dogs for that ability. They're very, very flexible. They're very, 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 they want to please you. They want to be with you. They want to make you happy. Most dogs, I should say. And so I served my mission in the Iowa Des Moines mission. Someone asked that, and I just randomly happened to see that question. So
another super chat.
We got a super chat. Let's see, another super chat. I absolutely love your animals and your channel. Seeing how far. Oh, sorry, this is Brooklyn McPherson. I absolutely love your animals and your channel. Seeing how far Shirley has come is amazing. Is she still doing her bite training? So that's one thing I just described. You know how I love how dogs, and if you're watching this, David, hey, sorry, dude, like it's been on the back burner. So I absolutely want to get Shirley advanced in her bite training, but I've been really busy with 100 other things, building mink land and training new baby mink and things like that. So Shirley's been on the back burner with that. However, there have been other skills that I absolutely need Shirley to be honed in on that I didn't get done earlier. And so now I'm playing catch up with some other skills. So I've been working actually a lot with Shirley, along with the mink, along with building mink land, along with editing videos and all the other things I have to do, being a father, things like that. So bite work has taken a back seat. I do plan on, as soon as I can find another opening in my schedule, to put that in the front seat and really get things moving along. And she's a smart dog. She's a willing dog. I think if I put the heat back on her in that area, she will step up to the plate and get to the point I need her to be. And then at that point, it'll be maintenance. The original goal was to get her to that point and then back off. And unfortunately, life happened. And see, with birds of prey, with mink, you can't let that happen. Dogs, Sure, it's not ideal, but they're more flexible. And that's why I'm able to have both dogs and mink. But having mink and hawks, it's really hard to have both very high maintenance animals. Now, if you wanted to be primarily just a falconer and have mink as a side gig, you could probably get away with it. But mink would be my primary thing. So having falconry as a side gig just doesn't work. Mink are actually more forgiving than birds of prey, in my opinion. Most birds of prey, I'm sure there's species that would be the exception to, but most birds of prey are a little more high maintenance than mink. And since mink are my main passion, it would be it wouldn't make sense to get into falconry at this time. I would love to in the future. Sorry if I kind of answered this question way too long. I would love to get into falconry in the future. I just don't know when that would be or if that will happen, especially considering the fact that I can get my fix by going out with a buddy and say, hey, let's go take your hawk out. Let's go catch some jackrabbits. Let's go catch some pheasants. Let's go catch some ducks or some geese or whatever he happens to be flying. Let's go catch some starlings, some sparrows. I can go out with a falconer and get that fix and have that fun and then go back to my mink. Whereas if I get the bird of prey, it's not like that. I got to constantly be on that bird, training it, keeping it fit, things like that. Let's see. I think we got another super chat.
There were two. There is one from Maryland that they can't keep exotic pets, and then another one that said that they were guessing you were LDS, but the video when you chose Boone's name, revealed it.
There's
and then that other one is new, but yeah.
Kind of give that away. Is it Beta? Bieta? I'm sorry, I'm not sure how to pronounce your name.
It's just Bieta.
So
I got it.
Bieta, do you know the Omaha word for minkland? I don't. So there's a couple different words for mink in Omaha. Ikiska is one of them. It means white chin. So in Omaha, you say it kind of like in Spanish, reverse order. So ska means white, iki means chin. Ikiska, that's one way for saying mink. Now let me think if I can remember the other way. It is Tushinga.
Tushinga sounds familiar.
It's oh, come on. Tushinga Tonga. That's big mink. Okay, so we named a mink a while ago that was big mink. I'm pretty sure it's Tushinga. I'd have to look it up. Sorry, I'm not like I said, I'm not fluent in Omaha, but Ikiska is the one I can remember because that's really easy. You just remember white chin, Ikiska. But I don't know how to say land, or what form of land. We should look it up. So I'd have to look that up. Probably even talk to someone to make sure I'm translating it correctly. Let's see. Train mink to ride falcons and have them drop on rats. That would be interesting. That was from Andreas Aponte. Thanks, Andreas.
There's one that I was going back to them, and there's Sarah Wood. She says, I've been sub to you for many years, and I love everything you do. It's hard to find men like you. God bless.
Oh, thank you. Were you guys able to hear that from Sarah Wood? Maggie just read what she said. Yeah, I'm not able to see if someone's answering. But Sarah Wood said some nice things, and thank you. Sorry, I can't remember it word for word. I had another question. Where does Raptor fit in with the mink? So, and isn't he high maintenance? I better not say this because the reptile people are going to get really mad at me. You know, reptiles are really low maintenance. Sorry, guys. I know you're going to be like, what? No, they're not. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, get a mink. Come back to me and tell me they're high maintenance. Get a falcon. Come back and tell me they're high maintenance. They're not high maintenance.
I think because you're training it's like
I am training him. So I'm actually putting in way more effort than kind of your average Joe Schmo with a monitor lizard. But even then, it's just when I feed him, I train him. It's not that hard for me. It's just, okay, time to feed him. Bring him out. Hey, what are we working on? We're working on you getting used to me picking you up. Okay. And it's just kind of in and out. It's not that difficult for me.
I think you're used to high.
I'm used to, here's the thing, you got to realize I'm used to really like children level high maintenance animals. So for me, reptiles are not that high maintenance for me. So yeah, so where does Raptor fit in, and is he high maintenance? For me, he's not. He's just not. So where Raptor fits in, so Raptor's really just experimental at this point. Like, I don't know how useful he ever will be. Now, we've seen some really good things that show that he could be a very valuable asset, possibly, but we still don't know. We never really will know until we, have been using him for a while. So here's the thing: just because you go out and you have success once doesn't really mean anything. I mean, it's a good sign, but it doesn't mean anything for sure. You have to have success over and over and over again to really know for sure if something's going to work, especially when it comes to hunting and pest control. I mean, it might work awesome the first time you try it, and the next 10 times it just doesn't ever work again. So I have high hopes for Raptor. Actually, after having some successful experience with the mousing that you guys saw, I have some high hopes that he's going to be a very useful asset, but he might just very well just be a fun experiment. And afterwards, he will be a pet that I love and I care for, and he will get a cool life because he gets to get outside, and we'll find ways to hunt with him from time to time, but he's not going to really be a big asset part of the team like the dogs and the mink. But if he does become an asset, here's how I would see him becoming so. So this is how I would foresee it. This is my opinion on that. Raptor is very, not just heat tolerant. I shouldn't call it heat tolerant. He requires a high level of heat. Everything else I have, especially the mink, the heat is a problem. So mink overheat very quickly. Dogs overheat, not near as easily as mink, but they still overheat. Raptor monitor lizards, they require heat. So when you're stuck not able to use the mink, and the dogs you have to be careful with, they're loving it. They're like, yeah, let's go. And sure, they can overheat too. I'm not saying they'll overheat and die, right? But the amount of heat it takes to make a monitor uncomfortable is like your mink's dead already, right? When a monitor's comfortable, the mink's dead. If he's active and can't cool off and can't get a drink, he's dead at that temperature. So what we can utilize him for is situations where it's too hot to use the mink, and maybe it's even questionable for the dogs. Now, obviously, we have to be careful because monitor lizards can overheat too. But I mean, if you realize their comfortable temperatures are in the hundreds, right? Low hundreds. So the hope is to be able to use him in temperatures where the mink are not useful at all, and the dogs, it's already starting to get questionable. So that's the plan with Raptor. And how exactly we're going to use him, I mean, only time will tell. We have to get more experience to know that. It's looking like flushing them and having him be used like a terrier is going to work cool, because we were flushing those mice with water, and bam, 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 he was slamming them like a terrier. That was working cool. Whether we can use him more like a mink and have him squeeze into crevices, that's what I originally hoped for. We'll just have to find out how realistic that really is. Only time will tell. We've got some more super chats here. We got to jump on. Congratulations.
Click on the $5 one because it's leaving pretty soon.
Oh, okay. Jacqueline Lee, $5. Did you ever find out who took Bear and the other minks? I didn't lose Bear. Bear's out in my backyard. I think you're probably meaning Washushe, the red mink, and that was a long time ago. Yeah, I don't have anything new to add to that. That was many years ago. Bear is doing great. He's sitting out there wondering where his dinner is.
Andre,
I apologize. We missed several different super chats.
But I also found one of
Maggie is going to search to find one. Oh, good job, Maggie. You're the best. Hola, familia Carter. Mucho gusto verte tus video.
Yo hablo 3 idiomas.
Yo hablo
¿Dijo 3?
Let me read, baby.
4.
Hablo 4 idiomas. Sí, bien, gracias a Dios que ayuda a ustedes en su misión. Gracias, André, por tus palabras. Gracias. Let's see. Thank you, baby, for finding that. See if you can find the other one. Congratulations. Oh, okay. Here we go. Too devious. Congratulations on you and your family. You inspire me to hunt with animals like dogs and birds of prey in the future. Quick question. Are you planning on breeding your dogs again? I'm not a big breeder of dogs. That's not a plan. When I create a litter, typically it's for a very specific thing. Like I need a puppy and I feel like this dog could create the puppy I need. That's usually why I breed it. Sometimes I make exceptions and like I have buddies who want something specific and the dog I have could create it, then I might do a favor for a buddy, like a really close buddy who's local. So no, I don't just breed my dogs. Sorry. It's not really a goal of mine. If I'm going to breed, it will be a very specific reason. It's usually a selfish reason. It's just for me. It might be for really good close friends, and but other than that, I don't just breed. So sorry about that. If you're hoping to get a puppy, there's enough. And if you want to know why, I mean, there's enough other people who are way more skilled and qualified dogmen out there than myself. I wouldn't even know that I could call myself a dogman. I like dogs. I can train them a little bit. I'm nowhere near the expertise of others out there who could probably create something a lot better than myself. If I think otherwise and I have an individual that I think is exceptional and I need a puppy from that individual dog, then I'll breed it. Otherwise, I leave it to the pros, and I don't consider myself a pro. Though Maggie would love it if I had a litter of puppies every year. She told me, "Oh, we need to have puppies every year." I'm like, "So here, this is a special event. I'm not sure when it'll happen again."
Probably Shirney, because she's very special.
Shirney is an exceptionally useful dog for me, and so there's a good chance that I might breed her. But here's the thing: she needs to produce something that's not going to be just useful to me. It needs to be useful to other people, because dogs don't just have one puppy; they have several. So I'll need to have homes that could appreciate the same thing that I'm looking for before I have a litter. So yeah. Oh, that makes me think of something I should clarify. But let me do this super chat here. Prince Shroob, $3.99. I came here from Call Me Karshib, but got addicted. I'm not sure what that is, but probably I'm glad that you joined. I assume, yeah, it must be a YouTube channel. But thank you for joining us. I appreciate the super chat. PVTPY1E sent $10. Congratulations on 1 million subs. Thank you so much. I appreciate your contributions to Minkland. That's where it's going, to Minkland. So we can build it. We've got these awesome enclosures. I can't wait to show you guys. These things are huge. They're like as big as people's bedrooms. And each mink or group of mink, if there's more mink living in the cage than one, will have these awesome enclosures with their own cattle trough for a swimming pool. In addition to obviously flipping Minkland, running around half-acre swimming in a pond, they're going to have a sweet, sweet, sweet home to live in the meantime. So I'm so excited, and it's been a dream to build these, and I'm really frustrated it's taken me so long. But I mean, I've got to be financially sound and careful and not just, blow my money. And then there's the factor of time. It takes a lot of time to build these things and plan these things and things like that. So I want to do everything right, not just rush into it. So it's taken me a lot longer than I hoped, but at least I'm, making sure I'm doing it right. Thing I'm building is building to last. This is going to be our home. Unless something goes wrong, our plan is for this to be our permanent home and to make this Minkland our, the rest of our life. So we want to have everything wonderful and great for those mink for many generations to come. So, do you have any super chats? I have something a question that people ask a lot that I want to answer. If you don't have a super chat, love. Okay, so one thing a lot of people want to know that I haven't clarified very well in my videos, I might have briefly, but obviously not well enough. So a lot of people want to know, what do you do with all your mink? So you produce all these litters, and then what? And one person had the audacity to suggest that I gave them to mink farms and they were pelted out, and that really kind of pissed me off. Sorry if you're on here, I didn't mean to be so rude to you, but that was really, I didn't like that question, the way you asked it. It's like asking someone, hey, did you send all those puppies to the pound to be put to sleep after you kept your one? I mean, it's just, to me, it was a really rude question. Sorry if I replied even ruder. I get a little emotional sometimes. So what do I do with all my mink? I have several litters a year, and obviously I don't keep them. I don't keep every mink coming out my ears. So what do? I get the question, why don't I always just adopt from mink farms, or purchase from mink farms, however you want to say it, from a fur farm? Why do I even breed at all? So there's a couple reasons. Like I said, this is a business, this is a pest control business that I run, and we need employees who do their job at a high level. Now, going at a mink farm and picking an individual from the mink farm is much like going to an animal shelter and just picking a dog from the animal shelter. You don't know anything about its parents, its grandparents, its siblings, nothing. It's just a shot in the dark. Hey, I hope this one turns out. Well, I hope this one turns out. And you could put a lot of time and effort into that individual animal. Think of it like an employee. You bring someone in off the streets. You don't do any interviews. You don't do any. You don't look at their resume. You don't ask their past employers how well of a job they did. You just bring them in blindly, like, hey, you look like a sharp guy. Come work for me. And then you pour hours and hours and months of effort into this individual person to train them to do their position. And then you find out he's like, yeah, I don't really like this job. I'm going to quit. And you're like, what? I just trained you and put all this time and effort. Why did you quit? So you want to make sure you have an individual that is going to fill the position. And the main thing that comes into filling that position is they need to love their job. They need to love their job, not just like their job. They need to love their job. And a great way to find individuals that love their jobs is through selective breeding. Selecting mink who love to hunt rats and love to hunt muskrats and breeding them together. And the ones who prefer fishing, most mink will catch fish. I'm going to find a home for that mink with someone who loves fishing. And another mink, maybe they don't even like fishing. They don't like water. So they're not good on muskrats, right? They don't like water at all, because there's weird mink out there that don't like water, believe it or not. That mink, I'm going to say, you know what? Here's this guy over here. He wants to hunt rabbits. This mink doesn't like water. Let's let him take that mink and go and hunt rabbits. Or maybe the mink doesn't like hunting at all. He's just really lazy. He's like, I don't like to catch fish. I don't like to hunt. I'm just lazy, chill mink. Great, you're not going to work for my program at all, buddy. Let's go set you with someone who wants a crazy exotic pet. Now, on the topic of pets, you guys have to realize mink are very, very aggressive, very, very high maintenance pets. These are not little cuddly ferrets. These are not ferrets. And I know people who maybe have working ferrets say ferrets are mean. No, you don't know how mean mink are. Mink bite hard and they love to bite. So I don't just hand mink out like candy and say, oh, you want a mink? Here you go. No, I like, hey, you got to read my book. You got to study my book. Forget reading it. You got to study my book. You got to be able to answer questions. I got to feel comfortable that you're going to give this mink a good home. And then I say, hey, you know what? What are you looking to do? Oh, well, I just want a cool pet. I want an exotic pet. And I've done all my research and I've got this amazing enclosure ready and I'm ready to go. Okay, here's a mink who doesn't like to fish, doesn't like to hunt. He would be a great pet for you. And another one who loves, doesn't like water, but would be good on rabbits. Go to this rabbit hunter. And this other guy, maybe the mink is just barely good enough to do some ratting, but not at a high level. Hey, you want a ratting mink? Here's a mink. He's not the best. Here's his weaknesses. Here's his strengths. But I think he could fit your goals. And they'd say, oh, yeah, I think you would too. And so those mink who don't work out for my program go to different homes. And the ones who do, they stay and are bred to produce the next generation of working mink. And some of the breeders who maybe didn't produce as well, or maybe they weren't the very best of the best when I originally picked them, they were just barely made the cut. They will then go to a new home based on their skills and abilities, and be replaced with a young, up-and-coming mink who really proved himself to be a great working hunting mink. So anyway, that's how my program works. I'm very, 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 very picky. I don't mean that as an insult. I know people sometimes take that to heart and they, oh, you're mean and you're rude. I didn't mean to be rude. I just really care about mink. And I honestly really care about people too. I don't feel it's fair for me to just give someone or sell someone a mink and just be like, oh yeah, well, here it is, and not do my research on them. It's not fair to the person either. The person doesn't know what they're getting into. They're going to be just as negatively affected. Well, maybe not just as negatively affected, but they're going to be negatively affected just like the mink. Both of them are going to be miserable. The mink's going to be like, I'm stuck in a cage, or I get dumped off in some place, because that's what people do. When the mink doesn't work out, they either just leave it in a cage or they turn it loose somewhere. I mean, it's just not good for either individual involved, whether it's the mink or the human, and it's just not fair to them. So I'm very picky and very careful. And I'm sorry if you guys have like asked in the past, hey, can I get a mink? Can I get a mink? I get that so much. I'll be honest. I'm really picky with when and how and who I give mink to, and because I've got this amazing YouTube channel with so many people, I don't have to like seek people out. I filter through people and say, hey, 20 people asked for a mink. This guy, I think he's qualified. Let's get him a mink. This mink isn't working out for me. Let's get him for him. I think it would fit his goals. So that's how it works.
You also
Yes,
you also still save mink from
Oh,
farms.
so that's another thing. People think, so you don't go to fur farms at all. No, that's not true either. So I do still get mink from fur farms because obviously if I only bred within my few select mink, I would be inbreeding really quickly. So I do have to get out crosses and go to mink farms and get mink that are genetically different from my own and add them to my little bloodlines. So I do still get mink from farms. And then also there are honestly more people who want mink than I produce mink. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not in the business of selling mink. So when someone comes along and they're super qualified and their goals aren't super specific, they're not like, I need a mink that does this. I could say, hey, well, look, you've got two options. Or if they really want a baby, I can say, hey, I can help you get a mink. Let me help you adopt a mink from a fur farm. And I'm the middleman. I go get it for them, pick it out for them, set them up with it. So there are a lot of mink I actually still get from the fur farms. Not a lot of them necessarily come onto my property and become my mink, but a few of them do. Most of them go to someone else. Because honestly, there's way more demand and people reaching out to me that I do find qualified than I actually have mink of my own to fill that need. So I try not to make it a big thing though. So I do apologize if you have bugged me and said, hey, I want a mink, and I just haven't responded. Hey, the reality is there's way more people who think they want mink than really know what they're getting into. So if you really want to get into mink, you really want to know about mink, read my book very carefully. And there are instructions at the end of the book on what the next steps are. So if you didn't know what to do and didn't know how to get a mink, you probably didn't read my book. And if you did, you didn't read it very carefully. So I actually put it in there, say, hey, and if someone reaches out to me, first question I'm always going to ask, hey, have you read my book? Oh, really? Okay, well, and I would love to at one point make a more specific step process for getting mink, but I just haven't, because it's not, like I said, it's not an ambition of mine to help people get a lot of mink. And the reason is they're just not appropriate for the overwhelming majority of people. They are horrible pets. If you just want a pet, go get a ferret, go get a chinchilla. There's a lot of really cool animals out there that are, go get a skunk. Skunk are amazing pets. There are a lot of other animals out there that are way more appropriate as a household pet than mink. So, anyway, I'm going to jump on some super chats.
Also, it's almost 11, so we probably need to.
Yeah, I need to go take care of mink and a few different things. So let's passion fruit, $5. Congrats on 1 million. Have you ever thought of training pine marten for squirrels or keep a cacomystil? Since they're not native, they're not invasive to you. I'm not sure what that animal is. They're not invasive in Utah like raccoons. I wonder if they're trying to say, I'm just not sure what that word is. As far as pine martens on squirrels, I would love to. The legality of branching out into other members of the weasel family, be it martens, weasels, otters, pretty much the whole weasel family other than ferrets and mink. The legality of doing so is very, very complicated, and that's what kept me with mink. I love mink. It's great that they are a legal option because they can do so many different things. A lot of the other members of the weasel family are specialists. Otters are specialists at catching fish. Martens are specialists at catching like squirrels and rabbits, things like that. Mink are generalist hunters. They can hunt a lot of different stuff. They can hunt rabbits, squirrels, rats, fish, muskrats, So it's great that mink are the legal option, but unfortunately it prevents me from very easily branching out into other things. I would love to one day maybe find a way to legally like branch out into like an otter, but like martens and their family, so martens, fishers, all of them, sable, things like that. they would be very complicated to keep. It would be very difficult to find a legal way to hunt with them. And that's the main thing. I personally am not into having exotic pets just for having pets. So even my monitor lizard, my gosh, I went out and got a monitor lizard, and what I do, I gave him a job, right? I'm not big into owning animals just for the sake of like looking at them and thinking they're cool. I really like to give them a purpose, not just for me, but for them. A lot of people think of it as selfish. People who don't understand working animals think of it as selfish. They're working that animal, they're a slave for the owner, blah, blah, blah. No, you don't realize what a job does to an animal and their well-being mentally and physically. It gives them a purpose for living. Animals and people who don't have a purpose are miserable. I'm sorry to tell you this, but they're miserable. People who don't have a job and don't make a living, even if they're multi millionaires and their daddy made millions in oil or whatever, and they just live off of their daddy's paycheck, the majority of those people are horribly miserable. I've seen them in their lives. And the poor people who anyway, we're not going to go into that. If you don't work for the money you make, it's very difficult to be happy. Are there happy people who just get free stuff? I guarantee you, but they're in the minority. The majority of people who just get free stuff are miserable because they don't have a purpose in life. And that is the same for animals. I'm sorry for people who just have pets. I'm not trying to like bash you. I'm just telling you the reality. If your animal doesn't feel like his life has purpose, they are not going to reach the same fulfillment and happy life as an animal who does has a purpose. So even if you make up a job, hey, your job's catching frisbees, that dog's going to be so much happier than if he doesn't have any purpose in his life. So give your animals purpose. And so for me to get a marten or a fisher and not be able to work with it and hunt with it, I'm not going to turn squirrels loose in a cage and let the marten catch it. I mean, that's just not cool. I want to go out. I don't know if you guys take that the right way. I want them to be able to go out in nature and do what nature intended and capture squirrels in trees in real life, right? But if I legally can't do that, then it's going to be pretty hard for me to justify to take that animal and keep it in a cage and say, hey, you know what? You don't really have any purpose. I'm just going to make a YouTube video of you and like cuddle you. He's not going to feel fulfilled in his life as if I could get him out and hunt with him. And so if I can't do that, I'm probably not going to keep the animal. That's just kind of the way I'm thinking. No offense to people who feel otherwise. That's just me. So if I get a fox someday, he's going to be out ratting. If I get a coyote someday, he's going to be out catching raccoons and catching rats. If I get an otter someday, we're going to be out catching fish, you know. And an otter, I could see because at least we have a pond in our backyard. Maybe we could get away with keeping it in the backyard. But really, if I've got an otter, I want to get out and catch fish with it in a real stream, a real pond, not just my little pond. So anyway, sorry guys, I go off on big tangents. $10 from Blue Maple. Congrats. I love watching your videos with my mom. We have a horde of ferrets, and it's awesome to see people following their passions. Thank you so much. Oh, the super chats disappeared here.
I'm fine.
Okay. Hey, Joe. Politics. What?
So he wants
politics. Ban. Oh, just people saying a whole bunch of politics crap. Yeah, sorry, they're coming too fast. I honestly don't even know how to do it. So I could figure it out, but it's
next time.
next time if we do another one. $2 from Passionate Fruit. Oh, ring-tailed cats. Yeah, raccoon relatives. Yeah, they're native here. Oh, I think that's what you said. They're not a invasive pest. So if I got a ring-tailed cat, kind of like I was going into, I would need to have a purpose for them. Not just for me, not just for the selfish motivation of, oh, if I'm going to feed it, I'm going to give it a job. No. Honestly, for the animal's well-being, like I went into, if you don't have a job, if you don't have a purpose in life, your happiness level will never be as high as if you did. Whether you're human or whether you're a little dog, that's just the reality of it. And that's how I feel. I'm not, once again, trying to preach against people who feel and live differently. That's just how I feel, and that's how I treat my animals. That I give them a purpose for their lives, and I try and make their lives as fulfilled as I can.
People want to see Raptor before we wrap it up.
Raptor's asleep.
He's asleep.
Sorry, guys. Raptor's asleep, and Raptor has a den inside of his enclosure because he's got a bunch of substrate he can dig in, and he goes down in his den, and I'm not going to dig him up. That's it really stresses him out. So I apologize, guys. We would have had to do that earlier. I could have got Raptor out, but he's asleep right now. So
I think that's it. Yeah, I saw all the super chats. There's a lot of questions, but if we start now.
Yeah, we'll be into questions forever. Let me fly through this really quick, and then we're gonna call it.
How old is Boone?
How old is Boone?
Yeah, people are seeing it because we are posting videos of him in the past.
So Boone, I just saw a super chat. Jackie Lee, $5. Yes, so sorry I got the names mixed up. Oh, no problem. I just want to make sure I was answering your question correctly. Congratulations on everything. I'm very sorry if my question upset you. No, it didn't upset me. It was a really long time ago, and there's no new information on Washushe, which is I assume the mink you were asking about. That was a long time ago. I'm okay with the question. I just don't have anything to say about it. Sorry. So what was I gonna say?
I guess it end with how much I appreciate and how this is such a dream.
Ooh,
that we're here.
There's a question I need to answer, but I will be answering in a video, so I cannot do that here. Ring-tailed cats could be good. Mousers, yeah, I've heard that.
Why haven't you trained all your dogs to put rats in the bucket?
Oh, because Shirney is so ridiculously easy to train, and the rest of them are not. I have a lot of animals to train to do a lot of things, and you would think because it's my full-time job that I would have extra time to train that. I just don't. And Shirney, honestly, training Shirney is like walking over and picking up a bucket. Like it's, hey, go do this. What do you want me to do? This. Oh, okay. Like she understands what you want in a fraction of the time as the other dogs, and she's willing to do it, even if it's not something she feels like doing. The other dogs, they don't really want to learn it. Like, I don't want to learn how to pick up a freaking dead rat, put it in a bucket.
They get frustrated
and when you try and like get them to do it, oh come on, let's do it, come on. They're like, geez, this is like. Shirney's excited. She's like, oh, sweet. We're going to learn something new today. Come on, let's go learn something new today. Boss is like, oh, dude, just leave me alone. I want to go take a nap. Leia's really nervous. Did I do it right? I'm not sure if I did it right. Are you mad at me? Are you mad at me? I'm not sure if you did it right. Oh, like she's just a nervous wreck. She's very nervous. So training her like concepts is frustrating for both of us. Boss is just like, what's up, dude?
I'm gonna lay here until you stop talking.
I'm just gonna go to sleep. Like he's just really chill. Shirney's like, oh, I want to learn. What can we do today? Hey, can we go play fetch? What? Let's go play fetch. Like she's like coming over. Like, what are you doing? Something exciting over there. Like I could literally teach her a new word like right here in front of you guys. Like I could go teach her to go do something she's never did. I did that once. What was it? I taught her to do something that she's never done before for someone.
Oh, you're so sweet.
But that's just her breeding. I mean, she's bred to be very, very clever and very, very willing to please. And most of my other dogs are not. They're not bred to be smart or willing to please. And though
we have several
what intelligences they do have, they use it for their own purposes. Hey, I want to hunt. I'm going to figure out how to catch stuff. But I don't really care to do little tricks like putting rats in buckets and things like that. Could I teach them? Sure, I could teach every dog. But it's going to take some effort, and I just frankly don't care enough to.
They're really good as they are.
They're good at what they do, and that's good enough for me. I've thought about it, to be honest, but then I'm just like, yeah, never mind. If they're all as easy to train as Shirney, yeah, sure, I'd do it because it'd be like da 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 da. But yeah, I'm just. Here's the thing, Shirney, I'm happy to train her funny little tricks because she gets a lot of joy out of learning it. Whereas the other dogs, it's a little bit of stress. They're like, do I really want to do this? Like, Anyway, you'd have to find some way. Anyway, that just answers it good enough. Let's see. I got a couple.
This ones I got them in order.
Okay. Keep the great. Kyle Rogers sent $5 and said, keep the videos going. Seeing Boone earlier was great.
And yeah, Boone is Boone
Oh, Boone.
full grown?
Boone's pretty much full grown. I mean, he will. Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong phone here. Boone will grow, but it won't be enough for anyone to notice. Like you'd have to be sitting there on a scale. Hey, he's grown. Like he's pretty much full size. And he physically is where he will be for the rest of his life for the most part. I mean, he will get a little bit bigger and a little bit stronger, a little bit more athletic, but it's going to be so minute, you guys won't be able to notice the difference. Even I won't really be able to notice the difference. Salosa or no Saloso Saloso sent $5. This was fun. Please consider doing more live streams. Yeah, I should.
We always go overboard over the time.
we go way long, but yeah. Ginsine Blue. Try a camera in the enclosure or near the enclosure for people to watch Raptor. Zeus did that for COVID so people could see the penguins. Yeah, that would be cool. Wait, I've thought about doing that, like on the pond especially. More live streams, says Doug G. Thank you. I'm glad you guys are enjoying this. Stout Shaco, $5. Don't feel like you have to respond to this. Well, I am already. But I've loved your videos for a long time, and I watch you on Vimeo. Oh, awesome. Thank you for subscribing on Vimeo. You're a legend, dude. I want to talk a little bit about Vimeo, actually. So I've mentioned it a couple times in this channel really briefly. I want to explain what it is and what it isn't. So I get accused of things from time to time. Oh, actually, I did go into that. I don't want to rehash that out, but good stuff. Boss says, oh, sorry, Israel. I'm not sure how to pronounce your last name, Israel. Good stuff, boss. Stay safe and blessed. Love the family, dogs. I got dogs of my own. Check them out. Cool. Oh, that does remind me. So one thing I want to talk to you guys about really briefly is about, some people, the recent disease crap that's going around that us humans can get. Mink can get it as well, right? So people have been concerned, hey, are your mink in danger of getting sick? Yes, they are, just like all of us. If they get infected, it'll be by me probably. So we try and be aware if I'm starting to feel sick, but we're not doing anything crazy.
We're following all the what people are following.
I don't really go in public that much now since I've become self-employed. So I mean, I have some limited exposure than most other people, but yeah, I mean, we do what we can to avoid it. Yes, mink can get the disease. I've known that for quite some time. I am fully aware of what it's been doing in the mink farms and stuff like that. I hope that we don't have any problems, but I mean, the reality is we're eventually going to get that disease, whether we get it tomorrow or next year. It's eventually going to go through us as well. So hopefully it doesn't affect our mink too bad. So one thing that people have been really concerned about is in Utah, it's hit the mink really hard, but I have a theory about why it's happened in Utah really bad. There is a disease that mink get called Illusions disease virus, ADV, or AD for short, AD or ADV, just depending on who you ask. That virus is a very slow acting virus that most mink farms in Utah have, and it's really, really hard to get rid of because it takes so long for the mink to die. So the mink farmers, and it infects their farms like permanently. Like you can't just get new mink. Like everything's infected. They have to get a whole new farm. So what the farmers do is they just deal with it as best they can. They keep breeding these mink even though they're infected with this ADV virus. And what the virus does is it makes them very susceptible to weird little things like stress. You just like stress the mink out and they'll die, or something else, goes wrong and they die. But if everything goes just perfectly fine, they can live for a few years and still reproduce and things like that. So obviously not ideal for a working mink. So we avoid that disease like the plague. Our mink are clean of ADV, Illusions disease virus. But those mink farms that have Illusions disease, if they also get this virus that's been going around on top of the ADV, I think that's why they've been having such horrible die-offs, is because of the combination of the two viruses working together on the mink, and they crashes their system and they die. Because I have a buddy where I get most of my mink from who does not have that disease, obviously, or else I wouldn't be getting mink from him. He doesn't have Illusions disease virus, and he got it. His brother who works on the farm with him got it. His wife got it. All of them got it, but none of the mink got it. How in the world do you work on a mink farm, handling mink all day, every day, and not pass on a very contagious disease to those mink? I don't think it's really likely to happen. I'm pretty sure they passed it on to their mink, and their mink were just fine. Their die-offs were so minimal that they didn't even notice. So they don't even know if their mink ever got the disease. So I'm hoping that our mink will be like that, and that if it does pass, it'll just go through them. They'll be fine. They'll be like another cold that they get once a year anyway, and they'll be fine. That's what I hope, but who knows? How did I pick Boone? So I picked Boone because, well, for a number of reasons, but the number one was he was the most confident of the kids. In the series, I make it appear that I picked him like when he was pink. That's not really true. I videoed the babies because I didn't know which one would be him. So I videoed all of the babies. And then when I finally picked him, and I went back and said, okay, we're going to show Boone growing up. But I didn't know who Boone would be until he was a little bit older, and he could actually show a little bit of his personality. And he showed to be the most confident and the most stable of all the babies. And so I picked him. And yeah. Do you think you could train a raven to help locate and track stuff? I think that would be extremely difficult. Ravens are one of the most intelligent creatures on the planet. Very, 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 very intelligent. So people think, oh, they're intelligent, so you can train them. Yeah. Actually, when you start getting too smart, the trainability starts coming down. Training monkeys, training ravens, things like that. They're so smart that they get distracted. They're so smart that they'll think past the reward. They'll say, is this reward really worth the effort? So smart that they will find ways to trick you and train you instead of being trained themselves. Things like that make animals like ravens extremely difficult to train outside of very sterile environments. Sure, you take a monkey or a raven or a dolphin and you put them in a little area where there's nothing really to do. They've got if it's a killer whale, they're in a big swim tank. Or if they're a raven, they're sitting in a room. If it's a monkey sitting in a laboratory, sure, you could teach them to do amazing things because they're bored. There's nothing else to do. But you take them out in real life and they're like, oh, hey, look, here's a piece of bark. This is a really cool piece of bark. But they're like, less intelligent animals would never even notice that piece of bark. They're just like, yeah, going through my life, focusing on really basic things. But intelligent animals don't just focus on basic things. They get intrigued and interested and curious about stupid things that don't even matter. Oh, look at this marble. I got a marble, And so it's really easy for them to get distracted, and it's very easy for them to trick you and to think past rewards and things like that. So I think training a raven to do anything in the real world would be very difficult. Anything complicated. Now, I'm not like a raven expert. Maybe I'm dead wrong. But from the ones that I have talked to who have messed with training ravens, it's complicated because of their intelligence. So it's not as easy as bird of prey. Bird of prey, very simple-minded. I want food. I want prey. I want to be comfortable. Ravens, they're super complicated. They're like, hey, there's some cool thing. I'm going to go look at it, Stymie sent $5. You need to name one of your greatest minks, Genghis Khan. I actually had a falcon named Khan, short for Genghis Khan. Yeah, someone actually mentioned in Vimeo that I should do a name a mink contest, and I think we could do that with some of my mink coming up that I keep this year from these litters. We could do a name a mink contest. Raphael Toyd. My husband loves your channel. Sent $10. My husband loves your channel and got me addicted to. You are stellar with your animals. Here's a donation in honor of our first anniversary. Cheers. Oh, happy anniversary. So, it's about...
Let's finish now.
Oh, I thought you were going to say I needed to do something.
No.
So, guys, I really appreciate you guys joining us for this wonderful, exciting event. Let's see how we're ending real quick. Let's see what we're at, because the subscribers were coming in hot and heavy. I don't want to... Good, we didn't go negatives. Like, yeah, we're going to get back. Somebody unsubscribe. We are at 1,101 subscribers. What an amazing day. We've more than got our 10. We got 100 more, and man, that's just awesome. I hope that you guys enjoy our channel. Here's the reality, subscribers.
We love you.
we appreciate you guys, but really what it comes down to is consistency. So I hope that I can consistently provide videos that you enjoy watching, entertain you, educate you, and show you more of this wonderful world of mink, and of course my great dogs and my fun little other side adventures like Raptor that we go on. Love to educate you guys more, and as we become educated, especially with things like Raptor, I am not a reptile expert, not even remotely, not even a little bit. um, I am basically just learning. I'm just a beginner who's done some research. That's about it. So it's fun on those little exciting side adventures we go on like Raptor. Hope you guys are enjoying it as we learn and we grow. Realize we're going to make mistakes. That's part of the process of learning. But fun sharing these adventures with you, with Raptor, with Boone. I am so excited about Boone. You guys have no idea. You guys are only seeing him as a little baby right now, right? So I will be getting those Boone videos up. I hope you guys enjoy them. I hope you guys really watch them. But fun times are to come. I'll just give you that little. You've got some exciting videos coming up. Can't wait to get him on his first muskrat. That hasn't happened yet, but it will very soon. I hope. So you guys get to see him grow up to this point as I keep posting the videos. And I'm missing a couple super chats. Let me hit those up. When is the Sean Wood? So Sean Wood's Mousetrap Monday, we need to do a collaboration. We haven't yet. I don't know. Him and I have talked about it several times. Last time I talked to him about it was probably a year ago, and he just had some things in life that just wasn't going to allow that. Do you have any plans with Sean Woods? Yeah, I don't have any plans yet. I need to talk to him. I actually haven't talked to Sean for several months. I need to touch base with him again. Say, hey, dude, let's get together. I don't know when that'll happen. You want to know how I tame my mink? You want to know how I train my mink? You want to know a lot of stuff? Check out my book. I have it in the link in almost every video I post in the description below, where to get my book. If you have questions like that, sure, you can watch my videos, but the detailed step-by-step is in my book. I don't do that to like make a bunch of extra money. I do that because I just can't give you all those details in video. It's just too difficult. So, I saw a question that I've heard a couple different times. People want to know, when am I going to start, or if I'm going to start hunting with special colored mink. I'm not into color, guys. I am into things that count. So I kind of use this with people. You know what? I don't care what color your skin is. I care what kind of person you are. Same thing with mink. I don't care if you're black. I don't care if you're white. I don't care if you're red. I don't care if you're blue. I care how well you get the job done, what kind of individual you're like to work with during that process. And I also care about how healthy and strong you are. In the case of mink, unlike people, being white or brown or black or yellow or whatever color you are as a human doesn't really contribute to your health at all. Well, I guess for me, right? I'm going to get freaking skin cancer, right? Because I'm a freaking white guy out in the sun. But I mean, for the most part, our race or color doesn't change our health. But for mink, unfortunately for them, that's not the same. So mink that aren't that natural black brown color are highly susceptible to a lot of different weaknesses depending on the color. So blue mink, for example, have weak teeth, horrible immune systems, right? Horrible immune systems. So they're very likely to catch a cold, get an infection, something, and die. Albino mink, they're good and healthy. Nice immune systems, pretty much identical to a brown mink as far as we can tell, but their vision is very poor because they don't have pigment in their eyes. They get sunblind, they get cataracts, they have a hard time seeing. In the dark, it's not so bad, but in the daylight, it's very noticeable. And some albino mink are far better than others, so it's not every mink. But even an albino with good vision is still below an average mink. And I need to tell Shirley what a dog she is from Emily Go. Shuni. Oh, you're such a good girl. Come here, that's a good puppy. Oh, that's such a good puppy. Yes, you are. You're such a good puppy. We should bring the other puppies. They're all outside. Oh, that's not fair. My dogs all get to spend time inside, but right now Shirney's the only one inside just because they rotate. So Boss is out sleeping, I'm sure. Leia's always sleeping, so they're just outside. Betty Boop, your mink would put Sean out of business. LOL. Yeah, I don't know. Sean has plenty of business. um,
With going to his farm, to his ranch, and killing all the
DK
rats.
$10. Here is to you training your sheep to catch rats. Oh, I was gonna show Lammy, but it's dark. Lammy's great. I have people concerned that Lammy's gone. Lammy's fine. She's our lawnmower. You can't get rid of your lawnmower. She didn't have babies this year. The hope was that she would have babies this year, which would also produce milk for us, but that didn't happen. We're right now in the process of finding her a new suitor so that hopefully next spring she can have babies, which mean we can have some milk from her because she's a dairy sheep. We got her to mow the lawn, be our little buddy. And see, like I said, animals always have a job with me. She mows our lawn, she's our little friend, and she produces milk. Those are the goals, right? She didn't produce milk this year. She needs to get on it. So we're gonna try again to get her pregnant so that she can have babies next spring. So that's the goal with Lammy. Nobody asked that. I just know I get asked from period to time, occasionally, and I forget to answer about Lammy. Lammy's doing good, but she doesn't catch rats. So sorry, guys. It's not very exciting filming her eat grass, so you don't see it very often. Any other questions? Any other super chats, babe, I should hit before I go?
This one, the last one.
DK, $10. Here, I already did that one, though.
Oh, you already did? Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, sweetheart.
Ready. So.
Alrighty, guys. I need to get to bed. Boone's out there, so let's go grab Boone real quick. Look, I have Boone say goodbye.
Here, do you want to take it? Okay. Again. Hello again. My awkward self is back. Well, Joe gets the mink to say goodnight. Oh, a lot of people are saying goodnight. Yeah, just a sec. Oh, my name is Maggie. Yeah, I'm not usually on videos just because I'm shy, I guess. And I'm also filming. I enjoy filming a lot better than being on video because I'm awkward. I'm from El Salvador, for those who were wondering. I am Latina. Hi.
Come on, boss.
See people from Mexico. Oh, yeah, Joe is terrible at filming, so he does need me. Good night, everyone. So Joe is here. You guys can see him. Yeah.
So Boone and Boss wanted to say goodbye. Say goodbye, Boss. Boone. He's like, you guys, I'm hungry. I've been out there waiting for my dinner.
He's like, finally,
I'm gonna eat Joe if he doesn't hurry and feed me. Huh? No eating me. Oh, there he goes. He took a bite. Oh, he's gonna eat me. Go down, babe. You can't see him.
Oh, I can't see.
There you go. There you go. Here's Boone. He's like,
So
oh,
good night kisses.
he's giving me kisses. He's like, oh, I missed you. Oh, I missed you. I was out there wondering where you were. Oh. You're a good boy, Boone. Oh, you're such a good boy. Oh, you're such a good boy. Yes. Oh, we'll go feed you. Yes, I'm gonna feed you. We'll go do a little training, huh? Oh, you're such a good boy. Yes, you are. You're such a good boy. Oh, you're such a good boy. Oh, he does that when he hasn't seen me for a little while, so he gets all excited and gives me kisses like a dog. And then after he's been around me for a bit, then he quits licking. But for the first few minutes, he's like, oh, I missed you. I missed you so much, Daddy. Oh, I missed you. Oh, you're my friend. I missed you.
Does he nibble on you sometimes? Because I know sometimes.
Nah, it's mostly licks. It's mostly just licks.
Alright.
So there he is. Oh, show Boss. Oh, there's a nibble. He just asked about a nibble. I got a nibble. Here's Boss Man.
Hold on. Oh.
Still on.
Yeah.
Here's Boss Man, lazing in the bed. Gotta turn it a little bit. There you go. Say goodbye, Boss. Boss is like, I'm relaxing. Leave me alone. Oh, there's a good boy. Okay, guys. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys hanging in with us so late. If it's late where you're at, I don't know, but where we're at, it's starting to get late. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it, and I hope it wasn't too boring. I kind of went off on topics for a long time. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you for making this wonderful life available to us so that we can spend time with the ones we love. Our sweet little Mink. Oh, I got a lick on my nose. Oh, there's a good boy. That one had some teeth with it, though. Oh, you got some teeth with that lick. My sweet little Mink and my dogs and my cute little girls and my wife, who I love so much. And I love that I get to work with them all the time. And I get to bring Olive with me to work, and I get to spend time with the people who matter the most. These little furry people and my obviously wife and kids. So appreciate you guys very much. And I hope that we continue to post some interesting information for you guys. And you guys have a wonderful night. I do apologize for the questions I didn't answer, but I do appreciate you guys' contributions. And have a wonderful evening. And we'll get some more. I got a ton of videos just ready to pop, guys, by the way. I've been getting ahead of things because the canals are draining this week. Actually, one of them already drained. So I will be catching muskrats out the yin yang for the next little while. So I've got videos pre-edited so that I can get out and hunt. So we got some fun stuff coming that's already in lineup to come out, and then some fun stuff that's going to be happening once we start hunting. So thank you guys so much. Have a wonderful evening, and woo, happy 1 million subscribers. Bye, guys. Say bye.
He's so cute.
He's like, dude, I'm done licking you now. I want to go eat some food. Bye, guys.